Ja, du machst heute die Platte.
Ich hab dich vorige Woche schon mal gesehen.
Fauler Hund.
Sehr gut. Wir sind fertig, ja.
Ist doch nur zu heiß, Tarek. Ist nur zu heiß heute. Voller Ausrüstung.
Warm.
Das hast du Leute, aber dann nicht schön, wenn er hinter der Platte sein muss.
Ja, dieses Kalt.
Hör mal. Mach eben nach hinten und zeig mir den Kopf. Ja? Danke. Ja, kann ich immer trotzdem was sagen. Ja, hab schon begeistert. Hab eben schon Bilder mitgemacht. Die Jungs haben mir da echt gestellt. Oh, hör mal. Immer wieder. Haben die geändert?
Good afternoon, folks. My name is Tim Collins, and we are coming to you live from Solingen in Germany. And today we're going to have Game 4 of this best-of-5 series between the Haar disciples of Munich and the Solingen Alligators, the reigning German champions. Solingen leading this series by a series score of 2-1. Game 1 went to Solingen 7-1. Game 2 went to Haar 5-3. And Game 3 last Saturday went the way of Solingen by a score of 4-3. And then the rains came on Sunday, and that postponed things to today. It is warm, it is sunny, it is breezy, it is bright. It is the complete opposite of last Sunday here in Solingen, where we tried to play. We hung around until about 3 p.m., and then the game was called, and that was the right decision, as the weather is absolutely perfect today. And we expect the weather to stay perfect. The radar shows not even a blip of green. And the Solingen Alligators are huddling along the third base dugout, getting ready to take the field. There's a few disciples in right field sprinting out in the outfield. And the three umpires are gathered in front of home plate as we are almost ready to begin this game from the ballpark in Weiersberg. The city of Solingen, a city known for its creation of blades and swords, known as the Klingenstadt. And we are going to get the announcements of both teams in a few moments.
Im Viertelfinale der Solingen Alligators gegen die Gäste aus dem Süden. Herzlich willkommen, die Haar Disciples. Wir begrüßen die Offiziellen im Spiel 4. Official Scoring von Udo Lindemann. Die Umpire. Herzlich willkommen, Crew Chief Tarek Lablak.
The three umpires have just been introduced. Bernard Lauven will be behind home plate. Tarek LeBlanc is on the right. He will be down the first baseline. And Clemens Schlipp is on the left. He'll be down the third baseline.
Heute in der Crew. Herzlich willkommen angereist aus Mannheim, Clemens Schlipp.
And that's Clemens tipping his cap. Tarek giving him a little wave.
So kommen wir zur Aufstellung der Disciples. Starten zunächst mit den Ersatzspielern. Wir begrüßen mit der 33 Markus Dierolf.
And this is the announcement of the Disciples. There's Marcus Dierolf coming out on the field. Rufio Schultz.
56 Jan Endriat.
Jan Endriat, the 16-year-old.
Starting Lineup der Gäste. Lead-off ist mit der 25 Second Baseman Richard Klein. Der Catcher mit der 4 José Palacios. Shortstop mit der 27 Chris Ziegler. Am dritten Base mit der 19 Josh Petersen. First Base der Spielertrainer mit der 97 Mitch Stefan. Im Right Field die 16 Ty Erickson. Im Left Field die 99 Klaus Nikolicki. Designated Hitter mit der 1 Lukas Steinlein. Mit der 13 im Centerfield Cedric Bassel. Und Starting Pitcher mit der 21 Gabe Sanversio. Herzlich willkommen nochmal, Big Hand für die Disciples. Kommen wir zum Heimteam, kommen wir zu unseren Solingen Alligators. Zunächst im Dugout mit der 92 Enobel Marquez. Mit der 29 André Jus. Die 33 Markus Striczek. Mit der 10 Carsten Schäfer. Mit der 2 Sharky Steinberg. Mit der 8 Joe Weidemann. Die 18 Luca Wolf. Und mit der 55 Oskar Matzreich. Die Starting Lineup der Alligators im Spiel 4 des Viertelfinales. Lead-off von Centerfield mit der 37 Florian Ritze. Am dritten Base mit der 12 Dominik Dr. Wüst. Second Base Number 1 Tanner Creighton. Unsere Nummer 9, unser Shortstop, Benny Sanchez. Designated Hitter mit der 27, Nils Hardcore. Im Right Field, die 11, Sascha Brockmeier. Am First Base, Dirty Dustin Hughes. Im Left Field mit der 20 Sascha Steffens. Und unser Catcher mit der 31 David Selsemeyer. Starting Pitcher mit der 22 Chris Metzger. Und die Verantwortlichen im Dugout der Alligators mit der 26 Memo Alkan und mit der 88 Norman Eberhardt. So, und bevor wir dann wieder zu unserem Überraschungs-First Pitch kommen, dürfen wir uns alle erheben. Wir hören die deutsche Nationalhymne.
Aufstehen.
Ja, vielen Dank. Wir kommen zum Überraschungs-First Pitch. Dazu begrüßen wir auch jemanden, der mit dem Namen Solingen Alligators untrennbar verbunden ist. Wir alle kennen ihn. Herzlich willkommen zum First Pitch, Peter Krüger.
Der kam von oben runter.
Here comes Peter Kruger to throw the first pitch of this afternoon, ceremonial first pitch. And then you're going to see Game 4 begin. That's David Selsemeyer taking his place behind home plate. And it's just a bit outside.
Ja, vielen Dank an Peter Krüger für seine langjährige Treue und die auch heute noch anhaltende.
But a good bit of fun has been had, but now it's time to get down to business. As you saw the Alligators line up on the left side of the field during the national anthem, you might have noticed a very tall fellow in the middle of that line, the tallest man on the team, and that is in fact Chris Metzger, who is going to be the right-hander going against the Haar Disciples here in Game 4. For the Disciples, they're going to send the following lineup. Richard Klein batting first, playing second base. Jose Palacios bats second. He will be the catcher. Chris Ziegler, the shortstop, bats third. Josh Peterson, the third baseman, bats fourth. Mitch Stefan, the first baseman, is batting fifth. Ty Erickson is in right field. He is batting sixth. Klaus Nicolici the left fielder is batting seventh. Lucas Steinlein, the designated hitter, is batting eighth. Cedric Bossel, the center fielder, is batting ninth. For the Alligators, defensively behind Metzger, the right-hander who will be on the mound, the infield will look like this. Dominic Wolf plays third base. Daniel Sanchez is at short. Tanner Layton is at second. Dustin Hughes is at first. And in the outfield, Sasha Steffens is in left. Florian Goetze is in center. Sasha Brookmeyer is in right. David Selsemeyer is catching. So you see two very tall coaches, Norman Eberhard on the left, Mitch Stefan, both very tall gentlemen. And now the handshakes. I mentioned the umpires. Bernard Lauven is behind home plate. At first base is Tarek LeBlanc. The third base umpire from Mannheim is Clemens Schlipp. And now the Alligators are huddled along the third base line. They are getting ready to take the field. It is 1:12 p.m. on Saturday. This game postponed a week from last week because of the rain. Today is Saturday, August 22nd, 2015. And we're about ready to begin Game 4 as the Alligators are taking the field. And there you see the tall right-hander from Colorado, Chris Metzger, on the mound. He is a towering figure, even when he is not up on the hill. And that's the view that the Disciples hitters are going to have to deal with. The right-hander pitched 7 innings in Game 2. He actually got the loss. Gave up 9 hits and 5 runs. However, only one of those runs was earned. He struck out 4, did not walk a batter. During the regular year, he was phenomenal. In 86 1/3 innings pitched, a minuscule ERA of 1.36. Only 52 hits. He gave up 9 walks all year, and he struck out 135. So 9 walks and 135 strikeouts in basically 86 innings. That's fantastic. And he's throwing his warm-up pitches. He's going to face Klein, Palacios, and Ziegler to start things off. The ballpark is full. The crowd is all sitting in the sun, as opposed to last week when they were underneath tarps and umbrellas, and the game is about ready to begin. Metzger has thrown his final warm-up pitch. Richard Klein is going to step up to the plate. The Disciples are trailing 2-1 in this series, and they are trying to somehow eke out a victory in Game 4 to try and push it to Game 5, which would be played right after this. The advantage with the rain out is that both teams have all of their pitching staff completely rested. Game 5 would be Kevin Treisel, but Lukas Steinlein is back behind him in the bullpen. So here's Richie Klein to step up and get things started for the Disciples. Metzger standing on the mound already. Klein just about ready to get into the box. Umpire says play, and here we go. Game 4 begins right now. And it's a strike, a good fastball in the inside corner. 0-1 on Richard Klein. Metzger works hard, he throws hard. This one is away. 1 ball and 1 strike. I mentioned the 9 walks that Metzger allowed all year. In fact, in the 3 games of this series, the Alligators have only walked 3 batters. One of those was intentional. There's a swing and foul to the screen, a fastball, and the count is 1-2 on Richard Klein leading off the game. Klein takes a moment to step out of the box and adjust his shoe. Infield is straight away. Dominic Wolf is playing more or less even with the bag. A few steps off the line. Now he moves a few steps to his left. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Klein. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A very weak swing by Richard Klein. 1 up and 1 down. First strikeout from Metzger. And we are underway with a strikeout. And Klein giving some last-minute tips to Jose Palacios, as Palacios is going to step up there, righty against righty. Palacios in the series is actually hitting very well. There's the first pitch. There's a fastball in there, first strike. Metzger not wasting any time. He just comes right at the hitters. Palacios has a couple of hits so far. And he swings and misses strike 2. After Palacios, it'll be Ziegler. Here's Metzger's 0-2. Selsmar sets up outside, and this one is fouled away off to the right. Still no balls and 2 strikes. This is a series that the difference hasn't really been shown in the numbers. Neither team has really played perfect baseball. The Disciples have made a few more errors than the Alligators. There's a breaking ball. Hit on the ground on 2 hops to Sanchez, who backhands it from the hole, throws on to first on a bounce, and it's in time to get Palacios. A good play by Daniel Sanchez, who is a very sure-handed shortstop. It was a nice play. He had to range to his left, to his right rather, backhanded. Ball not hit all that hard. Didn't have that much time, but he knew Palacios is not a very fast runner, and he bounced the throw on purpose to Hughes. 6-3 on the put-out. There are 2 outs, and here's Ziegler. And a breaking ball on the first pitch. This one is outside, ball 1. First 2 hitters Metzger came right at with fastballs. Ziegler, however, he starts off with an off-speed pitch. Josh Peterson on deck. Here's the 1-0. Fastball in there at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ziegler, a left-hand hitter, had 4 home runs this year for the Disciples. There's the 1-1. Fastball strike at the knees, 1-2. And that's where Metzger wants to live. He wants to keep that ball down at the knees with good movement, good velocity on it. Makes it hard for the hitters to hit it hard anywhere except in the ground. 1-2 to Ziegler. Fastball outside. Excellent location on the pitch, however, trying to get Ziegler to expand the zone. He did not. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He started him with the off-speed pitch and then 3 straight fastballs. Here's the 2-2. Fouled back to the screen. That was a fastball that was up. Ziegler just barely got a piece to stay alive. Chris trying to choke up on his swing. There's Peterson hustling over to the backstop. Get that foul ball. And he flips it back to the home plate umpire, Bernard Lauven. 2-2 on Christoph Ziegler with 2 outs, nobody on, top of the first inning. No score in game 4. The pitch, breaking ball, and that's outside. 3-2, Ziegler taking a couple of close pitches. That was an off-speed pitch. So we started him with the off-speed pitch, then threw 4 straight fastballs, and then another off-speed pitch, and the count is full. Here it comes. There's a line shot. That's a base hit for Ziegler into right field. Grabbed by Brookmeyer on a couple of hops, and there's the first hit, first base runner for the Disciples, and with 2 outs, that will bring Josh Peterson to the plate. Ziegler bangs a single after taking a couple of close pitches. Good at bat by Chris. And here's Josh. Josh, right-hand hitter with power. Ziegler on first base with 2 outs. Metzger comes set. He's got a very closed stance towards the right-hand batter with his set position, and he deals to Josh. This one is away, ball 1. In this series, the Disciples have had 27 base runners, 24 via hits. The Alligators had 31 base runners. However, 13 of those have been walks, and that's what's been killing the Disciples. There's a rocket down the left field line. It is a fair ball. It goes all the way to the wall. Ziegler rounding second, headed for third. He's being waved home. And the relay throw from Daniel Sanchez to the plate. Ziegler tripped. The throw, the slide, and I think interference was called, and that means Ziegler scores. It is 1-0 Disciples. So Josh Peterson ends up at third base. Now what's the call? Ziegler is in. It's a run for the Disciples. Josh is at third. So if obstruction was called, that means Ziegler scores automatically. It was a close play at the plate. The relay throw kind of bounced to Sanchez, and he bounced the throw to Selsemeyer. But after Ziegler was tripped coming around third, the throw was there almost in time. Now the umpires are going to discuss it and see what the call was. It is too hot right now for me to have my replay on, so I unfortunately cannot look at it again. The scoreboard has 1-0 Disciples. Josh hit a rocket, and the run is going to count. And now Eberhard is going to argue about it. However, Ziegler is going to score. That's going to go as a double. And Peterson probably takes third on the throw. Give Josh an RBI. It is 1-0 Disciples, and Gabe Sanders is probably thinking, well, there's your run. To be honest, it looked to me, to the naked eye, like Ziegler tripped halfway down the third baseline, but I don't know if he had to somehow alter his path around the bases to avoid Dominic Wolf, and that could have been the reason why obstruction was called. And now I'm being told that perhaps the umpire got in his way, and that's why. So that's why there's no way for the umpire to overturn it. If the umpire caused the obstruction himself, then he knows. So the score is 1-0, and I guess Eberhard is protesting. Well, unfortunately, my replay, because of the hot temperatures, sometimes my computer overheats when I turn the replay on. It is not on. So you'll have to look for that one in the YouTube highlights. The umpires are still meeting over to the right of the mound of the first baseline. So here we are, 4 batters in the game, and this is a big decision. So far, the Disciples really have not gotten any breaks go their way in any of the games in this series. And this would be a huge one to take a 1-0 lead against the big right-hander Metzger from Solingen. And right now, Mitch Stefan is explaining with Selsemeyer what might have happened. The umpires are still congregated to the right of the pitcher's mound. Daniel Sanchez is over there trying to eavesdrop a little bit. Josh Peterson is on third base with his helmet off. He ripped a pitch down the left field line. I don't see what could happen. The only thing that could be changed is that Ziegler would have to be going back to third. There's no way they can make the out call on home plate, and you can see home plate umpire Bernhard Laufen is waving Eberhard away back to the dugout, and this game is going to continue with Haar leading by a score of 1-0.
Dann ein Aushaben oder auch der Läufer zurück ans Base geht.
So it is 1-0 Disciples. Chris Metzger is going to face Mitch Stefan. And Josh Peterson is on third base. And with 2 outs, Mitch Stefan trying to bring him home. The second baseman, Tanner Layton, goes out to short right field. Look at where Layton is positioned. So the Disciples with a break. They lead 1-0. Here's Mitch against Metzger, and the first pitch grounded up the middle. Right there is Daniel Sanchez. He waits for it. Throws to first. It is in time. The inning is over. However, the Disciples get a run on a base hit, 2 base hits, in fact. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left, no errors. At the end of a half inning, it is 1-0. Haar. As we go to the bottom of the first inning, Haar with a 1-0 lead, and I have the benefit of having Dirk Fries standing next to me, a second pair of eyes to watch that last play. Ziegler actually ran into the umpire between second and third base, and that is why he was awarded home plate. It had nothing to do with the fact that he almost tripped on his way to the plate. It had everything to do with the fact that he collided with the umpire. With the 3-man umpire crew, sometimes they find themselves a little bit out of position because during the regular year they're used to working in a 2-man crew. But here we are in Solingen, the bottom of the first inning. Haar with a 1-0 lead. Gabe Sandursis on the mound, and he's got himself a run. He's going to face Florian Goetze, Dominic Wolf, Tanner Layton. I'll give you the defensive alignment for the Disciples in a moment after the first pitch is low ball 1. Behind Sandursis, it's Josh Peterson at third, Chris Ziegler at short, Richard Klein at second, Mitch Stefan at first. There's the 1-0 pitch to Florian Goetze. Strike is called, 1-1. In the outfield, Klaus Nicolici. In left, Cedric Bossel in center, Ty Erickson in right. Behind the plate and catching, as usual, Jose Palacios. 1-0. There's a line drive, left center field. That is a base hit. Bossel over to cut it off. And Florian Goetze starts things off with a base hit for the Solingen Alligators. A line drive single to left center. So Gabe, having been given a run to work with, immediately gives up a base hit, and it's to a speedy base runner, Florian Goetze. Of course, don't forget that Sandursis has, if not the best, one of the best, if not the best, pickoff moves in the entire Bundesliga. He picked off upwards of, I think he picked off 10 guys. I'm saying that from memory this year. And the Alligators did not even make one single attempt in the first game, and game 2 rather. So here's Dominic Wolf. Let's see if he's up there to bunt. Does not show it, takes a strike. There goes Goetze to second base. Palacios' throw is kicked away as it ricocheted off Goetze. He's going to get up and go to third base. And I think Goetze caught the infielders by surprise. No one was covering second base on that. That'll be a stolen base, and it's going to have to be an error probably on the throw. And right away, the Alligators have the tying run at third base with nobody out. The pitch was a strike to Wolf. Neither Ziegler nor Klein was really there in time to cover the throw, and Palacios, knowing there was nobody there, probably cookied the throw a little bit. He bounced it, and then Ziegler was able to snag it, but then when his glove made contact with Goetze, the ball scooted away into short left, and Goetze is now at third base with nobody out. The 1-strike pitch. A ground ball slowly hit to Peterson. Nice play. He looks the runner back. Throws to first in time. 1 down. Well, Gabe get the ground ball on the infield that he wanted to keep Goetze at third base. This could be the ball game right here. You never know. The Disciples are taking the approach that they need to win this game by a score of 1-0. And they are currently leading 1-0, but with 1 out in the bottom of the first, the Alligators have the tying run on third. If Gabe can somehow strand Goetze there, you never know. Maybe that's the biggest moment of the ball game. You never know when the big moment of the ball game is going to come. It might be the first batter of the game. It might be the last batter of the game, or anywhere in between, of course. So now Tanner Layton going to try and drive home Florian Goetze from third base. 1 out. Gabe's going to go from the full windup. Layton has been an RBI man for the Alligators all year. The first pitch, breaking ball, popped up, foul ground off to the left. That's over the screen. 1 strike, and that was a curveball to Layton on the first pitch.
0 und 1 der Count.
Tanner in this series. Well, no one in this series has really been hitting that well. Layton has a couple of hits. I have the wrong stat sheet in front of me. 1 strike to him. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 2. Layton was not looking for that one, and he went around too far. And Gabe going for the strikeout. And you know he needs to have confidence in Palacios to block those pitches down in the dirt with Goetze, the tying run on third base. Gabe with a huge pitch coming right here. No balls and 2 strikes. 1 out, runner on third, 1-0 Haar, bottom of the first. The 0-2. Breaking ball and swing and a miss, and the bat goes flying up against the backstop. And Layton is gone for the 2nd out of the inning. And a huge pitch by Gabe Sandersius, and now there are 2 outs. The infielders can just worry about making the play to first base, and that'll be Daniel Sanchez taking his place in the batter's box. 3 breaking balls from Gabe Sandersius to Tanner Layton, and Layton threw the bat almost over the backstop. So now it's going to take a 2-out hit from Daniel Sanchez to drive home Goetze. Goetze led off the game with a single. He stole second and reached third on the error, but then 2 quick outs later, he's still there. 0-2. Or excuse me, 2 outs. No, there's a pitch down low, ball 1. When I look at the scoreboard and I see the 2 dots under the out sign, sometimes it confuses me, so I apologize. That was a first pitch to Sanchez, low for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Florian Goetze on third base. The sirens and drums are going. The 1-0 pitch. Popped up foul, 1 ball and 1 strike. It's a drama right away. That's the way we like it. Waiting on deck, Nils Hartkopf. Hartkopf has been one of the better hitters in this series for either team. So Sanchez would like to extend the inning. 1-1 the count from Sandersius to Sanchez. The pitch. Fastball is a little bit high and outside. 2-1. Gabe had some pretty good juice on that last pitch. Just missed high and away. There's a 2-1. A ground ball slowly hit to Ziegler. He gloves it, takes his time, and throws to first in time. And Gabe Sandersius with a heck of a job stranding the runner on third with nobody out. Gets out of the first inning without a run scoring. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left on base, no errors at the end of 1. It is 1-0 Haar.
Zu Beginn
We're back. It is the top of the second inning, and the Disciples have a 1-0 lead. Chris Metzger going to go back to work. And he's going to face Ty Erickson. First pitch, strike at the knees. It'll be Ty Erickson, Klaus Nicolici, and Lucas Steinlein, 6, 7, and 8. Metzger gave up a 2-out single to Ziegler and a, what I assume has been scored a double to Josh Peterson, although he ended up at third. There's a slow ground ball pulled to the third baseline, foul. And the count 0-2 on Erickson.
Die hättest du nicht gefangen. Ich hätte gearbeitet hier.
Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball, grounded foul again. Ty in the series, hitting 182. He's got 2 hits in 11 at-bats. Like I said, neither team really has anyone with big-time hitting numbers. This has been a series that has been coming down to the pitching and the defense. And, of course, timely hitting. No balls and 2 strikes with nobody out leading off the second inning. Erickson slaps one down the right field line, foul, and the count's still 0-2. Metzger started the game by striking out Klein, and then he got Palacios on a slow ground ball to short, but then a couple of hard hit balls by Ziegler and Peterson, and the Disciples with a 1-0 lead. Slow curve, line drive, that one was hanging, and it is going to be a sliding attempted catch, but the ball came out. It's a base hit for Erickson, and he'll be at first base as Metzger hung a breaking ball on an 0-2 pitch, and Ty got enough of it to hit it over the shortstop Sanchez. Nice attempt by Sasha Steffens in left field to make a shoestring catch as he slid, but you can see he slid over the ball. That is the third base hit for the Disciples. And now Klaus Nicolici can lead things off with Erickson on first base. And Nicolici bunting, he gets it down in front of the mound, picked up by Metzger. He's got one play to first, and he makes it. Erickson goes to second base. There's one out. The Disciples are playing small ball. They kind of came into this game figuring 1 run would be reason for a parade against Metzger. But here they've got 1, and they're looking for another one now. Here's Lucas Steinlein. Cedric Bossel's on deck, the number 9 hitter. Erickson led things off with a single. And the pitch. Fastball, strike right in there, nothing in 1. Erickson off second base, 1 strike to Steinlein. Chokes up on the bat. Breaking ball, and a beauty drops in, 0-2. Steffens in left field is playing pretty deep. Goetze is a shade towards right center in center field. The right fielder, Brookmeyer, is straight away in right field. There's a pretty big hole between short and third, however. Nothing in 2 to Steinlein. Fastball high and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Steinlein, of course, a pitcher himself. Knows that Metzger on an 0-2 pitch might try to waste a fastball high and away, just like he did. Erickson off second base with 1 out, 1-2 on Lucas. Here's the pitch. Curve, and he hits a little soft floater out to second base. It's going to be caught by Tanner Layton at the edge of the grass for the second out of the inning. Weak pop up to second, and there are 2 outs. Erickson still on base at second base, and that'll bring up Cedric Bossel. The Disciples with their run in the first. The Alligators had Florian Goetze at third base with nobody out in the bottom of the first inning, but then Gabe Sandercius pitched out of it without letting him score, and it is still 1-0 in the second. Here's the pitch to Bossel. A little slow roller to short. Daniel Sanchez charges, and it hits off the heel of his glove, and everybody's going to be safe. Erickson back to third as he almost rounded too far, and Sanchez alertly flipping behind him. Seti Bossel will reach on what I presume will be an E6. So it's going to be an E6. Sanchez has made, I think, 3 errors in this series. That ball, a slow ground ball, and he had to hurry just to get to it. Basel with pretty good speed. I think it would have been a tough play to get him on first base anyway, but the Disciples have been rife with opportunity here in the first 2 innings of this game. Now they got Richard Klein, who struck out his first time. Runners on first and third. Erickson at third, Basel at first, Klein at the plate. Long hold from Metzger, and he deals. Basel not going. Popped up foul, strike one. It is 1-0 Haar. We're in the top of the second inning. Basel at first, Erickson at third, 1 strike to Klein. And the pitch. Strike two, a perfect located fastball right on the outside corner of the knees. Almost unhittable pitch. Klein, by the way, in this series is actually hitting .364. He's got 4 hits and 11 at-bats, 3 singles and a double. But he's in a hole here, 0-2 with 2 outs and runners on first and third. Metzger trying to get out of this without any damage. There's the set by Chris. And the 0-2 decline. Fastball is way high. Selsmeyer had to jump out of his crouch. And the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Richard Klein asking home plate umpire Bernard Lauven, making sure he knows what the count is. 1-2. There goes Basel from first. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the inning is over, so it doesn't matter. Klein has struck out twice. The inning ends. The Disciples do not score. They get no runs on 1 hit, 2 left, 1 error at the end of 1.5. It is 1-0 Haar. Welcome back to the bottom of the second inning. Haar leading Solingen by a score of 1-0. Gabe Sandersius pitched out of a huge jam in the bottom of the first. He had Florian Goetze at third with nobody out, and then he got Wolf on a ground out, Leighton on a strikeout, and Sanchez on a ground out. So he's going to go back to work against 5, 6, and 7. Nils Hartkopp, Sasha Brookmeyer, and Dustin Hughes. Hartkopp has been hitting very well. .333, 4 for 12 in the series for the former Haar disciple. And the first pitch from Sandersius. Strike called at the letters, 0-1. This is a series that so far really has been decided by the defense. There's a swing and a foul, big swing by Nils. He was going for the tie game on that one, and he's behind 0-2. Looking at the totals from the first 3 games, Solingen pitching has allowed 24 hits and 3 walks. That's 27 base runners. They've given up 9 runs, but only 3 of those have been earned. No balls and 2 strikes to count the pitch. I think the count is 2-1. The umpire makes an emphatic ball count, which I mistakenly thought was a strike call. So the count is 2-1. Now it's 3-1 as Gabe missed outside with a breaking ball. Solingen defensively has made 7, well now 8 with the error from Sanchez. And the Disciples have also made 8 errors in this series. The Disciples have allowed 8 unearned runs. The Alligators have allowed 6 unearned runs. Here's a 3-1. Ball 4, leadoff walk. Not what Gabe wanted to do. He's going to have to work around it, and he's going to deal with Sascha Brockmeyer now with Niels Hartkop on first base. Brockmeyer, the police officer, is hitting 182. 2 hits and 11 at-bats. He's hit the ball hard several times. It's been caught. So even though his numbers aren't showing up, he's been swinging a good bat. So the right-hand hitting right fielder is going to step up with nobody out. And Niels Hartkop on first base being held on by Mitch Stefan. Hartkop about a step and a half off the bag. He knows Sandersis has a very good lead. Hartkop now with a pretty big lead. And Gabe throws over. Hartkop dives back, and he gets the right hand in there. First base umpire Tarek LeBlack is right there. It's a bright sunny day in Solingen, just the way we like it. Brockmeyer at the plate, nobody out, and the pitch. There's a high fly ball popped up to left field. Eriksson moving over. He's waiting for it to come down, and he makes the catch for the first out. Brockmeyer makes out on one pitch, and now that will bring up Dustin Hughes. Hughes in the series is exactly 2 for 10. Math wizards will tell you that's 200. He's got a run batted in. That was a little ground ball single he hit off of Treasel in game 3. He's also walked twice. He struck out 5 times, however, in 10 at-bats. 1 out, Hartkop on first base, looking down at Norman Eberhardt for the signs. On-deck hitter is Sascha Steffens. 1-0 Haar, we're in the second, and the pitch. Hughes takes a fastball high, ball 1. Gabe has allowed a hit and a walk so far in the early going of this game. Dustin Hughes, number 30, peering down at Eberhardt down the third base line. Eberhardt has those big green socks on. 1 ball and no strikes to Hughes. The pitch, instead of throw to first base. Hartkop easily back that time. Excuse me, that was Nico Lici they made the last play in left field. Eriksson is the right fielder. Outfield is Nico Lici, Bossel, and Eriksson from left to right. Gabe comes set. 1 ball, the count to Hughes, and the pitch. Swing and a miss on a high fastball, strike 1. The drums and the wind-up toys are going. The noise is starting to pick up. Gabe silenced the fans in the first inning. Trying to do it again here. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. Bottom of the second inning, Gabe getting the sign from Jose Palacios. Now he comes set. Dustin Hughes in the batter's box, and a throw behind Hartkop. And that time, Sandersis threw that ball to the glove side of Stefan, who had to spin around to glove it before it went towards the Disciples' dugout. But Hartkop was diving back anyway. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dustin Hughes, the hitter. Sascha Steffens on deck. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Hughes late on the fastball on each of the last 2 pitches. And the count 1 and 2. One ball, 2 strikes to Hughes. The pitch on the way. Fastball is outside. Palacios trying to pull that back, but Bernhard Lauben not buying it. 2-2 the count. There are all these different ways the Alligators fans can make noise. They've got a large bell that's hanging from a pole over in the fan section on the third base side. You hear the bell ringing, the trumpets, the drums. Hartkop off first with 1 out, 2-2 pitch. Popped up foul, and we'll do it again. One to nothing Haar. We're in the bottom of the second. And with the Disciples with a slim lead, you better believe every single inning for them is going to feel like the bottom of the 9th inning. They got to play this game as though it's 9 bottom of the 9th innings. Gabe got through 1. He's trying to get through the second. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball popped up foul again. Hughes has been late on the fastball, but has fouled away the breaking ball. Wonder if Gabe might try to go back high and hard. Niels Hartkop is on first base. He led off the inning with a walk. Brockmeyer flat out on 1 pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Dustin Hughes. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That's the second strikeout for Sandersius, and it was the fastball indeed that he threw past Dustin Hughes.
für die NEW.
And with 2 outs and Hartkopf still on first base, that'll bring up Sascha Steffens. Steffens in the series has only had 3 plate appearances. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. He also sacrificed 1 time. And a throw behind Hartkopf at first. That was a little toss over to first with Gabe taking his left foot off the rubber. Hartkopf has shown no signs of going anywhere. 2 outs. Runner on first. Sascha Steffens in the batter's box. Palacios setting up the target. And the pitch. Fastball is high for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Gabe comes set, 1-0 on Steffens with Hartkopf off first. And there's a strike at the knees, a fastball, 1-1. There's just a slight breeze. It seems to me to be blowing in from left, but only minimally. This is a big ballpark, but down the lines it's possible to get one out of here. 321 down each line, 420 to center. Another snap throw to first, and Hartkopf is back. Gabe, perhaps a little bit overly concerned with Hartkopf. Not sure Nils is a base-stealing threat. Look up his numbers. And Gabe steps off. He wanted Palacios to go through the signs again. I mentioned every inning is going to be like the bottom of the 9th. That's why this game might take a while. Every pitcher wants to make sure that they make the right decision, and they're 100% sure what they're going to do. Gabe has a 1-1 count on Sascha Steffens with the runner on first, Hartkopf. And the pitch. Fastball missed high, 2-1. Gabe in the first game pitched 8 1/3. He walked 4, struck out 9. And now a balk has been called, and Gabe can't believe it. And Josh Peterson wants to know what's going on, as does Mitch Stefan. I have to admit, I did not see what that was, but a balk has been called. And Bernhard Lauven is saying that Gabe put his hands together and took him apart. I think Gabe's argument is probably that his foot was not on the rubber. Gabe's still out to argue. And the first and third base umpires, Bernhard Lauven and Tarek LeBlanc, looked like they were talking a little bit about it, but that's the end of that discussion. The balk has been called, and Gabe is upset. So the count is still 2 balls and 1 strike on Steffens, but now the tying run moves to second base, Nils Hartkopf. The Alligators have the runner at third in the first. They got a runner at second here, but there are 2 outs. Gabe gonna have to try and keep his cool. And now it looks like the umpires are gonna get together and talk about it. LeBlanc and Lauven and Schlipp, but we had already an obstruction call, and now we had a balk call. And it looks like nothing is going to change. So nothing is changing. The box stands. If anything, that gives Gabe a few more seconds to try and calm down his emotions. Big game like this, you know he wants to try to remain cool. So now we're just waiting for everybody to get back in position. Gabe with a few practice tosses to Josh Peterson down the third baseline. So the runner, Nils Hartkopf, is on second base. There are 2 outs. It is 1-0 Haar. We're in the bottom of the second inning. This game already being played as though it's a heavyweight fight. And the Alligators are turning the volume up on the PA speakers. Perhaps you can hear that. 2-1. Sandursis comes set with 2 outs. The pitch coming to Sascha Steffens right now. Here it comes. In the dirt, blocked nicely by Palacios, and the count 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Steffens looking down at Eberhardt. Eberhardt not even looking to give signs. Hartkopf the tying run on second base. Gabe comes set, 3-1. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and that was a very weak 3-1 hack by Steffens. He looked completely confused up there in a situation when you're supposed to be on the offensive. And the count is full.
Noch einmal bitte für die 20. Auf geht's. Sascha Steffen.
Hartkopf was on second base. He walked and then was balked to second base. There are 2 outs. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Steffens here with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. And Sandersius comes to the plate. Strike 3, a fastball right down the middle. Steffens caught looking and the inning is over and the crowd goes silent. No runs, no hits, 1 left on base, no errors. At the end of 2, it is 1-0 Solingen.
Die verrückteste Erfindung dieses Jahrhunderts. Die verrückteste Erfindung dieses Jahrhunderts. Loopings beim Englisch.
Welcome back to the top of the third. Sandersius has escaped a couple of jams so far in the early going, but he's got a 1-0 lead, and now Chris Metzger goes back to work in the third inning. It'll be Palacios, Ziegler, and Peterson, 2-3-4 against the right-hander. Chris has given up a run on 3 hits. He struck out 2, he's not walked a batter. So far, the difference in the game, the RBI double by Josh Peterson. And Palacios, who grounded to short his first time, was thrown out on a nice play by Daniel Sanchez. So he's going to come up for his second turn against Metzger, who has thrown 33 pitches so far. At the top of the third is underway right now. The first pitch to Palacios is popped up short right field. Brookmeyer is calling for it and waiting for it as the wind blows a little bit to his left, and he makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out. Palacios flies to right, and that'll bring up Ziegler. Ziegler had a very good at-bat his first time, took a few close pitches, worked the count full, and then lined a single to right field. And he came around and scored on Peterson's double after obstruction had been called. It looked like he might have been thrown out at the plate, but he collided with the third base umpire, Bernard Kleeman-Schlip, rather, on his way around, and was awarded home plate. First pitch is a strike to him, 0-1. Ziegler is in the shadows, but the angle of the sun I don't think will affect him in his view of the ball. There's the 1 strike pitch. Well, the scoreboard says 2 balls and no strikes. I thought that the first pitch was called a strike, but breaking ball, and that's in there. Metzger tries to live down, down, down. He got a few pitches up early in the game, and the Disciples have not missed him. There's the 2-1 pitch. That one is a breaking ball way outside. So the count is, I believe, 3-1. 2-2 is the count. The umpire is now signaling. The count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. So the first pitch was called a strike. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to the first baseman Hughes. He waits for it to roll to him and waves off Metzger and makes the play by himself. So 2 outs. Ziegler hit that ball fairly hard, but he pounded it right down into the grass, and it rolled right to Hughes, who kept his glove true to the dirt. And now Josh Peterson, whose double is the difference in the game so far. Josh in the series, coming into the series, was 2 for 11. That hit in the first inning was his third. And the first pitch to him, fastball, right in there, strike 1. Josh hit the second pitch of his first at-bat down the left field line, a rocket that went all the way to the wall. There's the 0-1 to him. That one is a breaking ball low in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the third. 1-0 Haar. And Josh takes a fastball at the knees. A good location, strike 2. And now Metzger in the driver's seat. There's the 1-2. Slapped foul. Josh protecting a fastball that was in a good spot. Metzger nailing that outside corner at the knees, and Josh just flicking the bat over there to foul it off to the right. Stay alive. Got to look for the fastball and hope you can adjust to the breaking ball against a guy like Metzger. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Slow curve, and that was a hanger. Josh had a good rip, and he just got a piece and fouled it away. But Metzger has hung a couple of those, and that was one of them. And Josh looked like he just barely mistimed it. 1-2. Here it comes. A line drive off the end of the bat to Hughes, who makes the catch, and the inning is over. Josh might have broken his bat on that one. 1, 2, 3. Go the Disciples. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base, no errors. At the end of 2.5, it is 1-0 Haar. So we are back, bottom of the third inning. Solingen coming up for their third chance against Gabe Sandursis. Sandursis stranded a runner at third in the first inning and a runner at second in the second. And he's going to face 9-1-2 David Selsemeyer in the top of the order. First pitch, strike 1 with a fastball. Selsemeyer and then Florian Götze and Dominic Wolf. Gabe's 1-strike pitch, swung on and grounded right back to Gabe with an acrobatic snag, and he throws to first. He does that all the time. 1 out. Another great play by Sandursis, who has snagged a couple of acrobatic comebackers throughout the course of this year, and that looks almost routine at this point from him. Selsemeyer had been 2 for 9 in the series, and now Florian Götze. Götze got his second hit of the series in the first inning. He singled, stole second, and reached third on an error. He was there with nobody out, and then the Alligators could not bring him around. So the first pitch, he shows bunt, and he bunts through it. That is strike 1. That looked like the off-speed pitch, maybe a split-fingered from Sandursis. I'd like to thank everybody who sent me messages about the collision between Sigler and the umpire, Toby Dietrich and Alex and Tim Williford. You know, it's good to have a few extra pairs of eyes up there. And also, it's too bad my replay isn't working today. I would have been able to look at it again. 0-2 to Götze, the pitch. Breaking ball, that one's way outside, 1-2. As the temperature goes down, I will see I will try to activate my replay and see how long it lasts before my CPU hits 100. Of course, Toby, you're the only one that even knows what I'm talking about right now. There's a 1-2. Swung on and popped up. This is a fly ball playable to right center field. Bossel shading over towards the right center field area. Makes the catch. And there are 2 down. Still no replay. Sorry, guys. So here's Dominic Wolf. Wolf grounded to third with Goetze at third in the first inning, and his ground ball was not good enough to get the tying run home. And he's up now with 2 outs and nobody on in the bottom of the third. I mentioned it before the game. The Haar Disciples actually, specifically, we're talking about trying to win this game by a score of 1-0. And that's currently what they have. There's a swing and a ground ball to third. Peterson gloves it to his left. And the lob toss to first is in time to get the slow running Wolf, and that's an easy 1-2-3 inning on very few pitches. Let's see, 4 pitches I believe that was for Sandersis. Nothing across the board. At the end of 3, it is 1-0 Haar. Welcome back to the top of the 4th inning. Haar leading this game 1-0. They got their run in the first inning on an RBI double by Josh Peterson. And Chris Metzger is back out there for the 4th. He's given up 3 hits, struck out 2. And here's Mitch Stefan. Stefan grounded out to the shortstop his first time. It'll be 5, 6, and 7. Stefan Eriksson and Klaus Nikolici. Seltzmeyer setting up the target low and outside. First pitch fastball right there, strike 1. There's the 0-1 now. The target set up inside. Pitch swung on, fouled away. Metzger hits the glove almost every time with his fastball. But he's hung a few breaking balls in this game, and so far that's been the difference. Metzger started the inning with 45 pitches. There's the 0-2 to Mitch. There's a breaking ball. Line drive left field. Steffens racing over near the line. He's not going to get it. It's a fair ball, and it's a base hit. Mitch is rounding first, and he will stop there with a single. And that was another hanging breaking ball by Chris Metzger on 0-2. He got one too far over the center of the plate, and Stefan, with a good 2-strike approach, lined it to left field for a base hit. That's the 4th hit for the Disciples, and that'll bring up Eriksson. Eriksson singled on a hanging breaking ball his first time. Stefan with minimal speed at first. Eriksson shows bunt. The fastball's high. And Seltzmeyer thought about throwing behind Mitch, but Hughes was charging in on the grass, and Seltzmeyer had nobody to throw to. Ball 1 to Eriksson. Eriksson taking signs from Josh Peterson, who is coaching at the first baseline. Third base coach is Marcus D. Rolf. Runner on first, nobody out, 1 ball, no strikes to tie Eriksson. And he shows bunt again, and he gets it down the first base line, but it trickles foul, and it is grabbed by Seltzmeyer in foul ground. Just to be sure, Eriksson, however, was not running, so Seltzmeyer had wanted to pick it up and take the easy out he could have. Ball 1 and strike 1 to Ty Eriksson. Ty looking down to Josh for the signs again. On-deck hitter Klaus Nikolici swinging the bat in the on-deck circle. Stefan is on first. He singled. There's nobody out. We're in the 4th. 1-0 Disciples lead the Alligators. There's a 1-1 pitch. Fastball is inside for a ball. See Seltzmeyer setting up that target inside under the hands of Eriksson. And Ty was looking for something away, and he got buzzed under the hands. Good location by Metzger, but he just missed 2 balls and 1 strike. And a throw to first. Stefan dives back, and he got the right hand in there. Stefan, who is about 6'6", wasn't too far off the bag, but all he has to do is reach out and touch it with his right hand. Metzger comes set, 2-1 to Eriksson. Strike at the knees on the outside corner, and the count now even 2-2, and that will take the bunt off. Although Eriksson was showing no signs of bunt on the last 2, but here with 2 strikes, he'll definitely be swinging away. That looked like it might have been a slider or some sort of a cutter from Metzger. Here's a 2-2. A fly ball towards right center field. Brookmeyer and Goetze racing back towards the right center field gap, and Goetze makes a nice running catch. That ball hit pretty deep by Eriksson. It was hit high in the air, and the wind is kind of blowing it that way. But Florian Goetze makes the catch in deep right center field for the first out. Stefan has to go back to first base. And that will bring up Klaus Nicolici, who's 0 for 1. Actually, Nicolici sacrificed his first time, so he does not officially have an at-bat yet. Stefan on first, 1 out. Nicolici at the batter's box. Klaus in this series is 0 for 6. Fastball is low and outside. Actually, that might have been an off-speed pitch from Metzger. 1 ball, no strikes. Now Nicolici looking down to Peterson for the sign. He's got his left foot out of the box. The Disciples lead 1-0. We're in the 4th. 1 ball on Nicolici with Mitch Stefan on first base. There's 1 out. The pitch. Swing and a miss at a fastball away, 1-1. The second baseman, Tanner Layton, is playing in normal position, but with Stefan being held on from Hughes, there's a big hole to the right side, and Nicolici sometimes hits ground balls that way. There's the 1-1. Fastball is away, 2-1. Or maybe that was a slider. From the angle where you get to see it, you get to see it a little better. I'm a little bit off to the left. So when the pitch is away to a right-hand hitter, sometimes it's tough for me to tell if it's the slider or a fastball. 2-1. Here's the pitch. And that was another breaking pitch, down and away, and Nicolici now with a hitter's count, 3-1. Lucas Steinlein is on deck. Metzger, who walked 9 all year, is behind 3 balls and a strike. He's been to a 3-ball count on 3 hitters in this game. That was something I don't think he did the entire game, as Nicolici hits a pop-up to the right side. Layton waiting for it to come down. 2 outs. And Klaus slamming his bat to the ground in frustration. He got a 3-1 fastball and popped it up. So there are 2 outs. Mitch Stefan still the runner at first, and Lucas Steinlein, the designated hitter, will hit. Steinlein popped out to the second baseman his first time. Steinlein, who created a run in Game 2 against Metzger by singling and stealing a couple bases. Swings and slices one down the right field line. Brookmeyer drifting over, and he makes the catch to his glove side for the 3rd out of the inning. So Steinlein flies out. The Disciples get a hit and leave a man. There were no errors at the end of 3.5. It is 1-0 Haar. Welcome back for the bottom of 4th inning. I'd like to give a shout out to my mom and sister, Mom and Jen, and Peter, Eric, and Robbie, and of course Dr. Bob, who I know is also watching from the cozy confines of Lovettsville, Virginia. So thanks for watching, you guys. As we go to the bottom of the 4th inning, Gabe Sandersius nursing a 1-0 lead. He's going to face 3, 4, 5. Tanner Layton, Daniel Sanchez, and Nils Hartkop. Tanner Layton struck out in the 1st inning and threw the bat up against the backstop, nearly destroying a few cameras that are over there. There's a pitch outside. Ball 1. Layton, when he struck out, that was with Florian Goetze on 3rd base and 1 out. That was a huge pitch. And if I remember correctly, Gabe threw him nothing but breaking balls. That first pitch was a fastball away. Of course, Layton, who had 4 home runs, he's one of the home run threats in the Alligators lineup. There's a pitch inside, 2-0. And of course, Henry. Who could forget Henry? Give a shout out to Henry. I figured Henry was doing all the work while you guys are watching TV. Here's a 2-0 pitch to Tanner Layton. The strike is called right at the knees on the outside corner. That's an unhittable pitch from a hitter's standpoint. Two and one. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Layton pops up the fastball. Shortstop Ziegler shading his eyes from the sun, and he makes the catch. That was a fastball riding up and in on Tanner Layton's hands, and he couldn't get the barrel of the bat out in front. And there's 1 out.
Nummer 9.
And that'll bring up Daniel Sanchez. Sanchez hit a ground ball to short for the 3rd out of the 1st inning, his first time. Sanchez, a native of Spain. Excuse me, Spanish passport anyway. I'll tell you more about him in a moment. Here's the first pitch to him. Foul to the screen, strike 1. Daniel Sanchez, of course, who played last year with the Solingen Alligators, has also played in Italy, member of the Spanish national team. He's won 8 championships throughout Europe, including last year with these very Solingen Alligators. The 1-strike pitch, breaking ball is outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Gabe Sandersius has retired 7 Alligators in a row. That's since he walked Nils Hartkop leading off the 2nd inning. There's the 1-1. Breaking ball is a ball, it's high. 2 balls and 1 strike. And Gabe thought that pitch was right down the middle. I could actually hear him say it, but in a game like this, the emotions run high, and the emotions have been high in this one since the first pitch of the game. The Disciples scored a run in the 1st inning. Alligators had a big chance right away in the bottom of the 1st. There's a 2-1. Fastball is inside, and it's now 3-1. Sanchez is not a guy you want to walk. He's got good speed, although he's dealing with a leg injury of sorts. So he's had trouble running in the latter part of the season. Nevertheless, I think in a situation like this, if he gets on, he might be trying to go. And there's ball 4. So let's see if there's any sort of cat and mouse game between Daniel Sanchez at first base and Gabe Sandersius, who appeared a little bit angry. Sandersius is a guy who sometimes needs to calm himself down. He wears his emotions on his sleeve. So he's got Daniel Sanchez on first, representing the tying run, and now Nils Hartkop, who walked his first time. There's 1 out. 1-0, Haar leading. We're in the bottom of the 4th. And the pitch. Fastball right in there, strike 1. Infield back looking for 2. Sanchez with good speed, but Hartkop more average speed. Of course, a powerful bat. Here's the pitch to him. Swung on and popped up, and Sandersius now in front, no balls and 2 strikes. Sandersius has allowed base runners in the 1st, 2nd, and now this inning. He had a 1-2-3 3rd inning. But his biggest Houdini act so far has been pitching around Florian Goetze at 3rd base with nobody out in the bottom of the 1st. He escaped that inning without Goetze scoring. And the score is still 1-0, and now a throw to first behind Daniel Sanchez, and he is back easily. Sanchez, the runner on first. The count is no balls and 2 strikes on Niels Hartkopf with Sascha Brockmeyer waiting on deck. Gabe comes set. And there goes Sanchez, the pitch. Swung on, hit on the ground to Stefan, who gloves it to his right-hand side. And he will step on first base for the out. So Sanchez makes it to second base on the 3 unassisted. However, if he's not running, that might be a double play. So there are 2 down, and now Sascha Brockmeyer going to try and get a 2-out hit to even this ball game. Daniel Sanchez with good speed.
So
Brockmeyer, the 24-year-old, with 2 outs, and Sanchez at second base. Brockmeyer saw 1 pitch. He's been a very aggressive hitter. He very often swings at the first pitch. He popped out his first time, hit a fly ball left. Sandercius checks on Sanchez and deals to Brockmeyer. The first pitch is in there on the inside corner for strike 1, and Brockmeyer looked a little bit surprised by that call. Says nothing, however. 1 strike the count. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball way high and outside, 1-1. The Alligators had a runner in scoring position in the first. They couldn't score. They had a runner in scoring position in the second, and they could not score. They have Daniel Sanchez in scoring possession right here. However, there are 2 outs. A 1-1 count on Sascha Brockmeyer. Right-hand hitter stands close to the plate. And Gabe steps off. 1 ball, 1 strike. These situations, every pitch is so important. They want to make sure they make the right decision. The pitch swung on, grounded, foul. That was a breaking ball. Brockmeyer way out in front, and he's now behind in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Gabe very calmly receiving the ball from Palacios. Picks the dirt off the rubber. The music is blasting, but Sandercius is trying to remain in his own world out there. He's got Daniel Sanchez representing the tying run on second base. 2 outs, 1 ball, and 2 strikes. The count to Sascha Brockmeyer. Another big pitch among many that have so far occurred. The pitch. Breaking ball, fly ball down the left field line, and this is a foul ball. Nicolici was never going to get it. Brockmeyer got a hanging breaking ball and really drilled it, but he was just a little bit out in front. And the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes, and Sandercius is going to probably rethink that last pitch. I'm sure the Disciples do not expect to get any more runs off of Chris Metzger, even though they scored 5 the last time they faced him, although a lot of those were unearned. They all count, doesn't matter. 1 and 2 on Brockmeyer. Here's the pitch from Sandercius. A ground ball to the shortstop, Ziegler. He fields it, throws to first, low, and Stefan couldn't scoop it. The ball hit the runner. Here comes Daniel Sanchez. We are tied. Ziegler fielded the ball and threw low to Mitch. The ball looked like it hit off of Stefan's glove, and then it hit Hartkopf on the way by. That's the only thing that kept that ball from going up into the Haar dugout. That'll be an error on Ziegler. And like I said, this series has come down to who makes the plays and who doesn't. And right there, the Disciples did not make the play. This game is tied 1-1. No RBI for Brockmeyer on that play. That's an E6 all the way. You see Ziegler set his feet. He made a good play to field the ball, but then he just threw it low. So now Brockmeyer on first, and here's Dustin Hughes, who struck out his first time. And now Sandercius has been called for a balk again. And the Disciples are trying to be beside themselves. Tarek LeBlanc called that. I guess he's saying Gabe didn't come to a stop. So now the second balk that has been called on Sandercius.
Wenn dann doch nicht der Pickoff kommt, ist dies ein Balk. und Freilauf ans zweite Base. Für Sascha Brockmeier.
No real argument. I wonder if that's just out of frustration. Gabe probably didn't come to a stop. Now he comes to a stop. Brockmeier on second base. Dustin Hughes at the plate. The pitch. Fastball is high, ball one. Well, the error extended the inning, so any further damage that might occur, it would all be unearned. There's the 1-0 to Hughes. Swing and a miss, strike one. Hughes has been late on every single fastball he has seen. And I would expect Gabe to concentrate on that pitch. Sascha Brockmeier, the runner on second base. We are tied at 1 in the bottom of the fourth inning. There are 2 outs. 1-1 the count to Dustin Hughes. And the pitch. Fastball is a ball inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Gabe has got to be having a feeling of frustration out there. There's the 2-1. There's a fly ball to deep center field. A lot of room out there as Basel racing way back into deep left center, and he makes a nice running catch. That ball hit very deep, but it's about 420. So I'm going to have to see it to believe it if somebody hits it over that fence. Hughes did not. He flies out to Cedric Basel for the 3rd out of the inning. However, the Alligators get an unearned run, 1 run on no hits. 1 left on base, 1 very big error. At the end of 4, we are tied at 1.
Servus Ingrid, ja, kannst du ein bisschen erzählen über die schöne
Zum
Zeug?
Beispiel das Trainingsshirt für die Kinder oder für die Erwachsenen.
For kids and
Sieht
adults.
man genauso aus wie die Herren 1 im Training.
Looks exactly like the first men's Bundesliga team. In training, what else we got here?
Oder
Gelb-Schwarz.
gelb-schwarze Jacke mit Disciples Day.
Yeah, it's got like a vintage retro look to it. That's pretty cool.
Ja.
We also have hats.
Und dann
Right, where are the hats? Caps and okay, let's take a look at these. Oh, there's also sunflower seeds. Yeah, schöne Mützen. This is the old-fashioned one, right?
ja.
Yeah. And there's even a mirror. Hey. All kinds of good stuff. Yeah, the Disciples jerseys. This is a very impromptu little commercial we're doing here. Thank you, Sepp. This is a soft shell jacket. Thank you, Sepp, for the information.
Hoodie.
The hoodie. We got the hoodie.
Majestic Hoodie.
Yeah.
Welcome back. We are tied at 1 going to the top of the 5th inning. Solingen trying to clinch it here in game 1. The Disciples trying to live to see a game 5 later today. And it's going to be 9-1-2. Cedric Basel, Richard Klein, and Jose Palacios against the right-hander Chris Metzger. Metzger so far has thrown 59 pitches, 4 hits, 1 run, 2 strikeouts. Gabe Sandursis giving up an unearned run on the 2-out error by Ziegler. Got to feel bad for Ziegler. You know, he wants to make that throw, but he just pulled it down a little bit too low, and that allowed the tying run to score. It would have been the 3rd out of the inning, but them's the breaks. And now Cedric Basel shows bunt, pulls it back. Pitch is called a strike, 0-1. Basel reached on an E6 his first time. That was a slow ground ball that kicked off the heel of Daniel Sanchez's glove as he charged to his right. 1 strike the count to Seti. And there's a line drive base hit to left field. Basel hitting a low fastball over the head of the 3rd baseman Dominic Wolf down the line, and Cedric Basel rips the leadoff single. That is base hit number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the Disciples against Chris Metzger. And they have hit their base hits hard. Metzger has made some mistakes. He's left some breaking balls up. That looked like it was a fastball, but it was down. And Basel was able to drop the head of the bat on it. So now Richard Klein taking the signs from Mitch Stefan down the first base line with Basel on first base. And Metzger deals. Klein shows bunt. The fastball is high, ball 1. The Disciples have had leadoff base runners in 3 of the 5 innings. And I don't think I could say as much about any of the previous 3 games that seem to have almost never had a leadoff batter reach. Of course, that hasn't figured in their scoring. They scored in the inning in which they got 2 2-out hits. That was the first. Klein shows bunt, pulls it back. The pitch is high for ball 2. Klein struck out twice so far.
Let's go, Chris. Let's go.
The game is tied at 1. Solingen scoring a run last half inning. Unearned run. The Disciples with an RBI double from Peterson in the first. 2-0 to Klein with Bossel on first. He showed bunt, pulls it back, swings away, and pops it up foul over the right field side, and the count is 2-1. That was the old Butcher Boy play. 2 balls and a strike. Palacios is on deck. There's nobody out. Bossel on first. And a throw to first behind Bossel, and he is back, diving to get the right hand in there. Metzger held the ball longer than usual. He will vary the time that he spends holding the ball once he comes to the set position. That's meant to distract the base runner, who's trying to time it. And another whirl and a throw. This one low and scooped by Hughes. A nice pick by Dustin to keep that ball on the infield. Bossel is one of the guys that might run. Selsemeyer has not thrown anybody out in this series. 2-1 to Richard Klein with Bossel off first, nobody out. Another long hold from Metzger, and now Bossel's going. The pitch has popped up foul, and we'll do it again. The Disciples trying the hit and run. Bossel has to go back to first base. Metzger has not walked anyone. He struck out 2, and that was Richard Klein both times. But he has not looked quite as sharp as he did in Haar. Here's the pitch. Fastball is high, and now the count is 3-2. That's the 4th 3-ball count that Metzger has found himself in this game. Bossel off first. He might be going here. Still being held on by Hughes. Not going. The pitch. A fly ball. Shallow center field. Racing out Sanchez, and Goetze coming in. And Goetze, it's actually Sanchez who made the catch over his shoulder. Boy, another adventure in the outfield for the Alligators. That time Daniel Sanchez staying with that ball all the way, makes the catch as Klein pops out for the first out of the inning. And that will bring up Jose Palacios with 1 out and 1 on. Palacios 0 for 2. He grounded out and fly to right. It's game 1. The Disciples are hoping there will be a game 2 today, rather. Game 4 is right now. Game 5 would be after this, should we need it. Tied at 1 in the top of the 5th inning. Bossel, the runner on first. Palacios in the batter's box. Palacios in the batter's box. Bossel not going. Fastball, strike at the letters, right in there, over the center of the plate. 0-1. It's relatively calm here in Solingen, but at a moment's notice, the crowd could pick up and start making a lot of noise. 1 strike on Palacios. Bossel left first with a very short lead. Another long hold by Metzger, and now he comes to the plate. A big chopper left to the mound. It's going to be a tough play, and it goes off of Wolf's glove. Everybody is safe, and that'll be most likely an infield base hit for Palacios. That ball bounced in front of home plate and went about 30 feet up in the air, and it is indeed a base hit for Palacios. Bossel will take second base. That is base hit number 6 for the Disciples, and now Chris Ziegler. And this is the part of the order that did some damage. Ziegler lined a single and came around to score in the first. And then he grounded out to first base in the 3rd inning. He is 1 for 2. There's 1 out. Bossel, the runner at second. Palacios, the runner at first. Ziegler in the batter's box. Alligators looking for a double play to get out of this inning. The pitch. Fastball right in there. Strike 1 with some juice on it. Metzger, for the most part, has just thrown the fastball for strike 1. He has not, to my memory, thrown a first pitch off-speed pitch. 0-1 on Ziegler. And a swing and a foul off of Selsemeyer. That one took his mask off, and the count now 0-2. David's going to take a moment and walk off to the left. Walks almost all the way over near the Alligators' dugout. That time the mask came off and came to rest behind home plate, a little bit off to the right. Home plate umpire picks it up, hands it back to David Selsemeyer. Metzger over in front of the mound to the right side. Walking very slowly back on the mound, but Selsemeier is back down in his crouch already. And Tanner Layton whispering something to Metzger, possibly about his positioning. Ziegler is in the hole, no balls, and 2 strikes. The runners are on first and second. Bossel is at second. Palacios is at first. There's 1 out. We are in a 1-1 tie in the top of the 5th. Game 4. This is a must-win game for the Disciples. Alligators would like to win it. There's the 0-2. Line drive, a base hit. And Bossel will be held at third base. And an 0-2 pitch from Metzger. And again, he got too much at the plate. And now Josh Peterson going to come up to the plate with the bases loaded. 3 straight singles for the Disciples. And Josh Peterson, who is 1 for 2 with a double and an RBI, is going to come up with the bases loaded. Metzger is now in a big-time jam. Of course, if Josh hits a ground ball, he is a double play ball candidate. But Metzger has been getting his pitches up in this game, and that's why the Disciples have 7 hits off him. Only 1 of their 7 hits has been a cheapie. The rest have been line drives. So this is a spot where the Disciples would love to put a crooked number up. There's the pitch to Josh. Strike at the knees in the outside corner. That was a quality pitch from Metzger. That looked like it had some movement on it. Maybe it was a cutter or a slider, something down and away. Josh hits the ball to all fields, but you know he wants to get something he can really rip. 1 strike to count to him. Slow curve, and he hits a line drive to center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Bossel will score. It is 2-1 Disciples on the RBI single by Josh Peterson on a hanging breaking ball from Chris Metzger. And Josh has driven in both Disciples runs. They retake the lead. It is 2-1, 4 successive singles. And still 1 out, and the bases are still loaded, and now Mitch Stefan's going to come to the plate. So Metzger, who looked so dominant, even though he got the loss in the first game, and then in game 2 rather, he's really not shown a good curveball of any kind in this game. He's been leaving it up, and the Disciples have been not trying to do too much. And now Mitch Stefan takes a fastball, strike at the knees, 0-1. Palacios is at third, Ziegler is at second, Peterson at first. 1 out, a run is in. Mitch Stefan, who is 1 for 2. And there's that little breaking ball, high and outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. We are in the 5th inning. The Disciples with a 2-1 lead. 1-1 on Mitch Stefan with the bases loaded. And there's a fastball that missed inside, just barely, 2-1. Metzger, who is, if he's emotional at all, he is not showing it. That was a close pitch. He did not get the call. 2 balls and 1 strike. Selsemeier setting up the target outside. Here's the pitch. A line drive, base hit to left field. Palacios will score, and now Ziegler is held at third. It is 3-1 Disciples. Another base hit, another RBI. That is 5 straight singles for the Disciples against Chris Metzger, and they lead 3-1. You got to give the Disciples credit. That was a quality pitch. That looked like it was down and away, and Mitch went up there with a game plan, looking for that pitch in that location, and he lined it between short and third for an easy base hit, and the Disciples keep the carousel going. They lead 3-1, and the crowd is silent here. Here's Erickson, who is 1 for 2, and he calls time as a bug flies in around the home plate area. Ty backing away from home plate, takes off his helmet. The bases are loaded. Ziegler is at third, Peterson is at second, Stefan is at first. There is only 1 out in the inning. The Disciples have scored 2 times. They've gotten 5 straight singles off of Chris Metzger. And the pitch to Erickson. A swing and a pop-up over the screen, out of play, strike 1. Erickson singled in the 2nd inning. He flied out in the 4th. He's 1 for 2. Metzger now up around 80 pitches. You know, Norman Eberhardt, even though he's got a fully rested bullpen, you know he wants Metzger to go as far as he can in this ball game. 1 strike on Erickson. Base is still loaded. And now 2 strikes. That was a good hard fastball from Metzger. Nothing in 2 to Erickson. Metzger, a strikeout for him would be huge. The Disciples with the bases loaded, they could still get another run home without a hit. And now Metzger taking a long time getting the sign from Selsemeyer. Didn't even come set, and Ty Erickson asks for time. Steps out of the box. And now he's back in with an 0-2 count. And the pitch. Check swing on the breaking ball. Selsemeyer is going to appeal, and Tarek LeBlanc, the first base umpire, says no. Erickson held up. Ziegler is at third. Peterson is at second. Stefan is at first. The count 1-2 on Ty Erickson. Here it comes. And now this one is outside, and Erickson has worked the count even, 2-2. Klaus Nicolici is on deck. Well, the Disciples, after the Alligators tied it in the bottom of the 4th, they've scored 2 here in the 5th. Trying for more. 2-2 pitch to Erickson. Coming right now. Fastball, and it was up and in just barely. Ty had to lift his arms up out of the way, and the count now full. Metzger has just been a little bit off today. Normally he's got absolute pinpoint control, but he's been missing, and he's also been missing within the strike zone. 3-2 to Erickson with the bases loaded. The pitch swung on and popped up. That's going to get out of play. We'll do it again. That was another fastball, looked like, from Metzger. Ty with a protective swing, just trying to get bat on ball. And he forces Metzger to come back with another 3-2 pitch. Chris Ziegler is the runner at third. Josh Peterson, the runner at second. And Mitch Stefan, the runner at first. There is only 1 out in the inning. Metzger comes set. And here comes another payoff pitch to Erickson. Swing and a miss. He got him with a high fastball, strike 3. That is the 3rd strikeout for Metzger, and that's comes at an important moment for him with the bases loaded and 1 out. And now, if the Disciples are going to get any more, Klaus Nicolici is going to be the man that's responsible for it. Nicolici sacrificed and popped out, so he's officially 0 for 1. Up there with the bases loaded. Ziegler, Peterson, and Stefan, the base runners, 2 outs. First pitch to Nicolici. Fastball is in there, strike 1. So Metzger trying to pick up the pieces. With 1 out, the Disciples got 5 straight singles against him. But then he struck out Erickson, and now he's got 1 strike on Nicolici. And now he's got 2. Nicolici waving and missing at what might have been a cutter or a slider low and away. And Klaus in the hole, 0-2. Infield is back, outfield is deep and straight away. Klaus does have power. Selsemeyer sets up outside. Here comes the 0-2. Strike 3, fastball in the inside corner. Selsemeyer was set up on the outside corner, but actually had to come back a little bit towards the center of the plate to catch that one. So strike 3 is called. The Disciples strand the bases loaded, but they get 2 runs on 5 hits, 3 left on base. No errors at the end of 4.5. It is Haar 3, Solingen 1. Welcome back to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Disciples with a 3-1 lead They scored a run in the first and 2 last
Nur
inning.
2 Runs gilt sie aufzuholen.
And Gabe Sandersius has now been given a lead for a second time in the ballgame. He allowed an unearned run in the 4th inning. He has allowed 2 walks and only 1 hit. He has struck out 3, and he's going to deal with 8, 9, and 1. Sasha Steffens, David Selsemeyer, and Florian Götze. Steffens, over 1. He struck out looking his first time. And the first pitch of the 5th inning is a ball outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Sandersius entering the inning had thrown 58 pitches, and Gabe wants to know where that pitch was. Or maybe he doesn't want it. Maybe it could be that he's being confused. The home plate umpire, honestly, has an emphatic ball call, which I've never seen, and it's confused me a few times. And that pitch is down low and inside, 2 balls, no strikes. Usually when the pitch is a ball, the umpire doesn't say anything. But Bernhard Laufen emphatically calls ball, and I think it has confused a couple of the players. 2 balls and no strikes on Steffens. And now 3-0. Gabe has walked 2, as I mentioned. Solingen trying to climb right back in. And Gabe knows that Steffens is the 8th hitter. He does not want to walk him to lead things off here in the 5th. And a strike is called, 3-1. Three balls and a strike as you hear the Solingen fans get the band going. Here's the 3-1. Ball 4 is called. That's the 3rd walk for Sandersius. Pitched too far down and inside, and now Mitch is going to go have a chat with Gabe, try to just calm down his lefty. So Sasha Steffens is on first base, and now David Selsemeyer is being called to the 3rd base line by Norman Eberhardt. Eberhardt might put the bunt on here, or he might also try to send Steff. The only way really to run off Sandersius is to just gamble and win. You just run as soon as he lifts up his leg, and you hope he doesn't throw behind you at first base. So a leadoff base runner here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Haar leading 3-1 over the Solingen Alligators. Solingen leading the series, however, 2 games to 1. So this is a must-win game for the Disciples. David Selsemeyer grounded out to the pitcher his first time. And a throw to first. Runner is back. Steffens was maybe 2 feet off the first base bag. And he is currently standing on the bag. There's the first pitch to Selsemeyer. He shows bunt. And the pitch is a ball. Sandersius is visibly a little bit upset with the home plate umpire. You know, you have to give credit actually to Bernhard Laufen, the home plate umpire. He is showing no reaction whatsoever to Sandersius on the mound, and that's really a professional thing to do for him. Selsemeyer bunts it foul off to the left of home plate, strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sandersius is a very emotional character out there on the mound. Sometimes doesn't hold back what he's thinking. But right now, Laufen is saying a few words to Palacios. It might be that Laufen is running up the end of his rope. So it'll be up to Palacios to relay that warning to Sandersius, if indeed that's what he said. But Laufen, to his credit, has been very relaxed back there. Selsemeyer showing bunt, and he bunts it right back to Gabe, who's going to go to second for 1. Throw to first. 2. It's a double play, and the inning is there are 2 outs. So the bunt, a bad one from Selsemeyer, right back to Sandersius. He fired to Ziegler. They got Steffens for the first out, and Selsemeyer is the second out. There are 2 outs and nobody on. 1-6-3 double play. And now with 2 outs and nobody on, Florian Götze, who has the only base hit for the Disciples. Goetze singled leading off the game in the bottom of the first. He reached third with nobody out and was stranded there. And the first pitch, a strike called, 0-1. But it's been a roller coaster just the first 5 innings of this game. 1 strike. That one is high, 1 ball and 1 strike. And now Lauven, I think, has had enough from Sandersis. He's going to go out and have a chat with him. And Gabe quickly calls apologies. Well, I mentioned Lauven had been keeping cool back there, to his credit, but that was the end of the line for Sandersis. He's going to have to keep his emotions in check. That pitch appeared to be high, but Gabe, once he gets a little bit fired up, I think allowed his emotions to get the best of him there. So the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. And now Mitch is going to go out and have a chat with Bernard Lauven, the home plate umpire. Mitch, the player coach for the Disciples, he wants to know if there was officially a warning given. And looked like Lauven shook his head. So Gabe has used up his goodwill from the home plate umpire, but cooler heads have prevailed, and Gabe is going to try to remain focused. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count to Goetze with 2 outs and nobody on. We're in the bottom of the 5th, Haar with a 3-1 lead. There's a big chopper down the third baseline. It's foul, grabbed by Norman Eberhard on 1 big bounce, who tosses it back to Sandersis. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, Gabe, who shows his emotion during the regular year with a regular basis, is a little bit more amped up for this playoff game, and this one is outside, 2-2. Florian Goetze with a 2-2 count. Nobody on base, 2 outs. And that's high. Full count now, 3-2. Goetze in the series, starting in the game, had drawn 3 walks. 3-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and the inning is over. It turns into a 1-2-3 inning. That is the 4th strikeout for Gabe Sandersis. No runs, no hits, and because of the double play, nobody left on base, no errors at the end of 5 completed. Is Haar 3, Solingen 1. We are back to the top of the 6th inning. The Disciples leading the game by a score of 3-1. And Chris Metzger is going to deal with 8, 9, and 1. Lucas Steinlein, Cedric Bossel, and Richard Klein. Metzger has given up 9 hits and 3 runs. Still no walks, however, for the big right-hander. He has struck out 4. And he started his windup before the home plate umpire had even said play. And the first pitch is called a strike. Steinlein is 0 for 2. He has popped out and flied out. Designated hitter. There's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball. And that's a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Nobody out in the 6th. 3-1 Haar. Fouled away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Metzger came out Steinlein with the fastball. Metzger has given up an uncharacteristic 9 hits, but it's really been because he hasn't had good feel for his off-speed pitches. He's hung some breaking balls, and he's gotten some fastballs up over the plate. He is the toughest when he keeps the ball down and on the corners, and he's been missing those spots today. But right there he didn't. That one is strike 3 called. Fastball at the knees. And there are 5 strikeouts in the books for Metzger. 3 swinging and 2 looking. 1 down here in the 6th, and now it's Cedric Bossel, the hitter. Bossel singled and scored in the 5th inning. That was last inning. I think I said the Disciples got 5 straight hits. They did not. They got 4 straight hits. That was after Bossel led off the inning with a single. He takes a strike. Bossel singled and came around. He scored on the base hit from Ziegler. Strike 2 at the knees, nothing in 2. Metzger trying to start over again after that rough inning last inning. Excuse me, Bossel scored on the hit from Peterson. And strike 3 is called.
Für die Offensive der Disciples stehen wieder Job auf der Line-Up mit der 25 Richard Klein.
2 down and nobody on here is Richard Klein. Klein is 0 for 3, struck out twice and popped out. And a strike. Metzger has thrown 1 pitch out of the strike zone this inning. Struck out Steinlein looking, he struck out Bossel looking. And he's got a strikeout Klein with 2 outs and nobody on. It is 3-1 Haar. We're in the top of the 6th. Breaking ball. And that's called strike 2. And that's strike 3. Fastball right down the middle. Metzger strikes out the side, and the Disciples had a 1 swing in the bunch. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left, no nothing. At the end of 5 1/2, it is 3-1 Haar. Welcome back to the bottom of the 6th inning. Haar with a 3-1 lead. Gabe Sandursis is going to go back to work for the Disciples against the Alligators. He's pitched 5 innings so far, 1 hit and 1 run. That run is unearned. He's walked 3 and struck out 4. He has thrown 72 pitches, but he's had an emotional time out there. He's been arguing with home plate umpire Bernhard Laufen. Laufen, I assume, gave him a warning last inning, so Sanders is going to have to keep his emotions in check while he faces 2, 3, and 4, Dominic Wolf, Tanner Layton, and Daniel Sanchez. Wolf is 0 for 2. First pitch to him, strike called, a fastball to the outside corner, 0-1. There's the 0-1 pitch. There's a ground ball, base hit in left field. So Dominic Wolf gets a base hit. That's the 2nd hit of the Alligators. That's only their 2nd hit since the first batter of the game. And that is Wolf's 2nd hit overall in this entire series. as he cracks a single.
Come on,
And here's Tanner Layton representing the tying run. That'll bring the Alligators fans to life. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. It is 3-1 Haar, game 4. Must-win game for the Disciples. Alligators trying to advance to the next round right here. Sandursis with a long hold, and he deals to Layton. First pitch, fastball, strike called on the outside corner, 0-1. Layton has struck out and grounded to short. 0 for 2, excuse me, grounded, he has popped to short. Runner on first, Dominic Wolf. And a throw to first, Wolf is back. The Disciples scored a run in the first and 2 in the 5th. Alligators scored 1 in the 4th. There's the pitch to Layton, breaking ball, and a beauty, strike 2. That one had Layton bending backwards out of the batter's box. And it dropped in there, about belt high. 0-2 to Tanner, lefty against lefty. Alligator fans looking for a reason to explode. The 0-2. Breaking ball, this one goes to the backstop, past Palacios, and taking second base is Wolf. That'll be a wild pitch. That was a pitch down in the dirt. It looked like it got past Palacios' glove. He went down to his knees to block it like you're supposed to. But that would skip between his legs and to the backstop. So now Layton can drive home a run with a base hit as Dominic Wolf is on second base. Although Wolf with average speed. The arms in the outfielders in the outfield for the Disciples are Nicolici in left, Bossel in center, and Erickson in right. Layton with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Nobody out. The pitch. Another breaking ball. This one blocked by Palacios. He has trouble getting the grip on the ball, and Wolf will take third. That's going to go as another wild pitch, but Palacios probably had a chance to throw out Wolf, but he tried to grip the ball and couldn't quite do it on first try, and the count is now 2-2 on Layton, and now Wolf is at third. 2 straight wild pitches, and now Gabe's going to go from the windup, and he's in the same situation he was in the first inning, pitching with a runner on third and nobody out. 2-2 to Tanner Layton. Infield is going to come in at the corners, and Siegler, the shortstop, is up, although Klein is playing about halfway at second. The 3-2, breaking ball, tapped, foul. Off to the left, Layton with a very weak hack, and the count is 2-2. Still 2-2. Dominic Wolf on third. There's nobody out. It's 3-1 Haar. This ball game has been filled with tension and interesting moments since the very first pitch. 2-2 on Layton. Here it comes. Fastball is high, and the count is full. 3-2. Gabe trying to go up the ladder on Tanner, and Tanner took it. That one, a cloud of dust popping out of Jose Palacios' glove on that pitch. I'm not sure that Gabe cares so much if he walks Tanner Layton. That would set up a double play. Here's the 3-2. And it's low, just barely outside, ball 4. A close pitch. And Layton is at first. That is the 4th walk issued by Gabe Sandursis. And now Daniel Sanchez with runners on first and third. Sanchez coming into this game had only 1 hit in the whole series, and he is 0 for 1 with a walk today. Layton is on first. Wolf is on third, nobody out. The pitch to Sanchez. Pop foul, strike 1. Gabe wants a strikeout and a double play. Mills Hartkoff is on deck. Dominic Wolf led off the inning with a single. He reached third on 2 successive wild pitches. Layton walked on a close 3-2 pitch. First and third, nobody out, 1 strike on Sanchez. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to the right side, and it's past the glove of Mitch Stefan for a base hit. Layton takes the turn. He's headed to third. The throw to third from Erickson is not in time, and Aaron Sanchez will take second base. So it is 3-2 on the RBI single by Daniel Sanchez, his second hit of the entire series. However, Erickson made a mistake throwing all the way to the third because Sanchez is able to take second base, and he represents the tying run. He is in scoring position. That's a single and an RBI. Sanchez takes second on the throw. That's the third base hit. A little ground ball just past the glove of Mitch Stefan. Dominic Wolf scored. Leighton is now at third. And now Mitch Stefan and Josh Peterson going to have a chat with Gabe Sandursis. The batter is Niels Hartkopf. Hartkopf has walked and grounded out. He's 0 for 1. So the infield is meeting on the mound. Sandursis standing behind the mound. And there's some activity in the Disciples bullpen. Looks like look at somebody throwing down there. So the Alligators have the tying run at third and the go-ahead run at second. Said Sanchez with the tying run. He's the go-ahead run. There's nobody out. We're in the 6th inning. Inning began with a single to Wolf, a walk to Leighton, and a single to Sanchez. It is now 3-2. And Niels Hartkopf, and now Gabe Sandursis really in a jam. He has got the tying run at third, the go-ahead run at second. And the volume level has picked up here in the ballpark. It is loud now. Not sure if you can hear me. Niels Hartkopf. 0 for 1. Infield is in. Trying to cut down the run at the plate. First pitch. Fastball is high. Ball 1. Solingen threatening. There are runners on second and third with nobody out. It is 3-2 Haar. We're in the bottom of the 6th. 1 ball, no strikes to Niels Hartkopf. And a ground ball, base hit to left field. The game is tied. Sanchez will be held at third as Nicoligi comes up throwing the ball to the plate, and the ball is backed up by Sandursis as it bounced past Palacios. The game is tied at 3. Leighton comes home to score, RBI single for Hartkopf. Little two-hopper through the infield. Third hit of the inning for the Alligators. Sanchez is now at third, Hartkopf at first, and Sasha Bruckmeyer, who is 0 for 2, will step up. This inning, the 2 runs off of Sandursis are earned. The run that he gave up in the 4th was an unearned run, and the man at the plate now, Sasha Bruckmeyer, is the guy that hit the ball that led to that unearned run. Infielders are now going to play back and look for a double play, so they're going to let the go-ahead runs score on a ground ball. I find that curious. However, with the runner at first, Niels Hartkopf, the Disciples would rather have a double play than a tie game, I guess. Here it comes to Bruckmeyer. The pitch is outside, ball 1. Sanchez, the runner at third. Hartkopf, the runner at first. There's still nobody out in the inning. 3-3, we're in the bottom of the 6th. Solingen threatening to take the lead. Sasha Bruckmeyer with a 1-ball count. Here it comes. Swing and a miss, and a very big swing at that, strike 1 on Bruckmeyer. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's nobody out. Runners on first and third. Bruckmeyer at the plate. Fouled away, and the count now 1-2. That was a breaking ball that was outside of the strike zone, and I think Bruckmeyer chased it. So the count is 1-2 to Sasha. Daniel Sanchez on third. He represents the go-ahead run. Niels Hartkopf on first. There's nobody out. We're in the 6th. Solingen has scored twice to tie, and now Bruckmeyer asks for time and receives it. (3-3) bottom of the 6th. Runners on first and third. Nobody out. 1 ball, 2 strikes. You know Gabe wants the strikeout. And Gabe stepped off. And now Palacios wants to come out and have a chat with him. Bruckmeyer in this series has only struck out 1 time. So he's a tough man to strike out. Puts the bat on the ball. He flied out and reached on an error. 1-2. Gabe comes set. And the pitch. This one is high, and Palacios had to jump out of his crouch to get it. Gabe almost just let that one fly to the backstop. 2-2 the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runners on first and third, nobody out. Hartkoff is dancing off the bag. There's a swing and a soft fly ball to short center field, but Ziegler backs up to the outfield grass and makes the catch. And no advance by the base runners. There's 1 down. And now Dustin Hughes, who has struck out and flied out. Hughes is a strikeout candidate. Hughes has struck out 5 times. Well, now 6 if you count the one that he struck out in the second inning. So Sandersis now, there's a way out of this jam. If he can exploit Hughes with the fastball. Hughes is looking down at Norman Eberhardt for the sign. Runners on first and third. This might be a running situation. Hartkoff on first was dancing around off the bag trying to induce a balk, but Sandersis has not paid any attention to him so far. He's got a short lead, does Hartkoff. Still dancing around, and Gabe comes to Hughes. In the dirt, goes to the screen. Sanchez will score. Solingen leads 4-3, and Hartkoff is going to go all the way around second base, but decide to stop there. A wild pitch. 3 wild pitches in the inning. Sanchez comes home on the wild pitch. Hartkoff moves up. Ball 1 to Hughes, and so much for pitching out of the jam with a runner on third. Now there's a runner on second. Solingen has the lead 4-3. That would look like it was a fastball. Went down, skimmed the dirt between the legs of Palacios and went to the backstop. So the count 1 ball, no strikes on Hughes. Here it comes. A fly ball to deep center field. Bossel is going back. He's got room. Pulling up. Makes the catch. Runner tags from second and will go to third easily. The throw is not going to be in time. Good base running by Nils Hartkoff. Fly ball to center field for the second out of the inning. And now Sascha Steffens. So Hartkoff advances on the fly ball. Hughes has hit the ball deep to center field twice. Bossel's run it down. There's a long way to go out there to get to the wall. So with 2 outs, the runner on third, here is Sascha Steffens. And the pitch. Fastball right down the middle, strike 1. So Gabe has allowed 3 hits and a walk this inning, but the 3 wild pitches, that's really been the killer. The 1 strike. Line drive, base hit up the middle into center field. In to score is Hartkoff. It is 5-3 on the RBI single by Sascha Steffens. That's the 4th base hit of the inning for the Alligators. So the Disciples had an inning in which they had 5 singles off of Metzger. Now the Alligators have had an inning in which they've had 4 singles off of Sandersius, and they lead 5-3. And it looks like we're going to have a pinch runner. That's going to be Markus Stritzek. So Stritzek will take Steffens' place, and Stritzek will most likely just go into left field. That's the same thing Eberhardt did in Game 2 in Haar. So now, David Selsemeyer, the hitter. Selsemeyer is 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice, once into a double play on a failed bunt attempt. Stritzek, the runner at first with 2 outs, and the pitch to Selsemeyer. Breaking ball, a strike. A good pitch from Sandersis, 0-1. Gabe is up around 94 pitches now. Double barrel activity for the Disciples. And there's the pitch, the swing and a line drive left field. Nicolici, long run. It's going to be past him, and the base hit goes all the way to the wall. Stritzek being waved around third. He's coming to the plate, and he's going to score easily as the relay throw is very late. It's an RBI double for David Selsemeyer. It is 6-3 Solingen. That's the 5th hit of the inning for the Alligators off of Gabe Sandersis. It looked like a breaking ball that was down and in, and Selsemeyer, who almost never pulls the ball, golfed it. And Nicolici, who was playing way off the line, had a long run to go, couldn't get there. Stritzek with 2 outs could run at the crack of the bat, and the pinch runner comes around to score. And it is 6-3 Solingen in the bottom of the 6th. And now the top of the order, Florian Gutze, the 9th man to bat in the inning. Inning began with a single to Wolf, a walk to Layton, a single to Sanchez, a single to Hartkoff, pop out, fly out, and then Steffens and Selsemeyer with hits. Solingen has scored 5 times. And the pitch to Gutze, a breaking ball, down low, ball 1. There are 2 outs in the inning. And the pitch. Outside, 2-0. Gabe, who pitched well through the first 5, although he had some emotional ups and downs. He had to strand a runner at third with nobody out in the first, stranding runners in scoring position in the second and fourth. There's a swing and a pop-up. This is on the infield in foul ground. Stefan drifting over into foul territory, has a play and makes it, and the inning is over. So Goetze pops out to foul ground to the first baseman Stefan for the third out of the inning. However, the Alligators have a good inning. They get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. They left 1. There were no errors. And at the end of 6, it is 6-3 Solingen. Well, we are back for the top of the 7th inning in what has turned to a loud atmosphere in Solingen. The fans had been holding their breath for the first 6 innings, but Solingen, with a 5 spot in the bottom of the 6th, have taken a 6-3 lead here in Game 4. And Norman Eberhardt has made a few changes. The new left fielder, of course, Marcus Stritzek, who pinch ran and scored that run. And the new catcher is Julian Steinberg in the game for David Selsemeyer. Everything else remains the same. Dominic Wolf at third, Danny Sanchez at short, Leighton at second, Hughes at first. Goetze is in center, and Brookmeyer is in right. And for the Disciples, they're going to send 2, 3, 4, Palacios, Ziegler, and Peterson against Chris Metzger, who has newfound life. This is the first time he's been pitching with a lead in this game, and we'll see if he can re-find his stuff. He has not been as sharp as he normally is. And the pitch to Palacios is a strike, looked like a slider. Metzger is at 97 pitches. There's the 0-1. And that one is low. Breaking ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. The Disciples have 9 hits and 3 runs off of Metzger. He struck out 7. 1-1 to Palacios. Fouled away, 1-2. It'll be Palacios, Ziegler, and Peterson, 2, 3, 4. And the Disciples, who had 5 hits and stranded the bases loaded in the 5th inning in their last 2 innings ago, now look to that situation. There's a ground ball back through the middle. It's a base hit for Palacios. Another 2-strike hit for the Disciples. Metzger has been unable to put away the Disciples hitters with 2 strikes. And here comes Chris Ziegler. That is base hit number 10 for the Haar Disciples. Many of those have been with 2 strikes. Four of the Disciples' base hits have been with 2 strikes. So now Ziegler, who got one of those and scored a run in the 1st inning. Ziegler is 2 for 3. And he lines one down the right field line. That is going to be a base hit into the corner. Palacios takes the turn. He will head to third. Ziegler will stop, however, at first base. So it's a single for Chris Ziegler, and here come the Disciples. Josh Peterson is going to come up to the plate representing the tying run. That's the 3rd hit of the game for Chris Ziegler. And now Josh Peterson, who's got 2 hits and an RBI. In fact, 2 runs batted in. He's up there with the runners on 1st and 3rd, representing the tying run. So it hasn't been easy for Metzger either. Steinberg setting up the target away. Here's the pitch. And Metzger hits the glove, strike one. Chris is now up over 101 pitches. So this ball game has been a labor for both starting pitchers. 1-1, one strike to Peterson. Breaking ball hit in the air to right field. Brookmeyer backpedaling, and he circles under it, makes the catch. Palacio comes home from third. He will score easily. It's a sac fly for Peterson, and the score is now 6-4. Josh has got 3 RBIs in the game now. That's the first out of the inning. Ziegler stays put at first. So the Disciples scratch a run back off of Chris Metzger, and here's Mitch Stefan. Stefan representing the tying run. Mitch had 2 home runs this year for the Disciples. He had 4 last year and 5 the year before, so he does have the power to hit one over that right field fence. There's 1 out. Ziegler, the runner on first. Here's the pitch to Mitch Stefan. Breaking ball. And that, I believe, is the first time Metzger has thrown a first pitch breaking ball in the game for a strike. That was a slow looping job. Mitch was looking for something hard, got something soft, and he's behind 0-1. So Metzger pitching backwards now. Fastball fouled away over the screen off to the left, and Mitch is in the hole 0-2. We are in the top of the 7th inning. Haar, who led this game 1-0, then they led 3-1, and now they trail 6-3. Trying to scratch back and cut that lead. 0-2 on Mitch Stefan. And he hits one off the fist to short right field. Long run for Brookmeyer, and he dives, and he did not catch it. It's the umpire signaled out. He did make the catch. Brookmeyer made the catch. And he thinks there's 3 outs. There's only. Oh, it's a double play. Sorry, because Ziegler was running. He thought that ball wasn't caught. Ziegler is doubled off. It's an easy double play. That's going to be a 9 unassisted double play. I thought for sure that ball dropped in, but the umpire, Tarek LeBlanc, was right there, made the call. So it's a double play. The Disciples are turned away in the 7th inning. They do get a run, however. On 2 hits, 1 run, 2 hits, nobody left on base, and no errors at the end of 6.5. It is 6-4 Solingen.
Take me out with the crowd, buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out of the old ball game. All together now, take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out of the old ball game. Thank you very much. Let's play ball.
We are back to the bottom of the 7th inning. Solingen leading by a score of 6-4. That last half inning coming to an end when Ziegler was doubled off on the diving catch by Sasha Brookmeyer in right field. And it's going to be Dominic Wolf, Tanner Layton, and Danny Sanchez, the same guys that started off the last half inning. First pitch swinging, Wolf fouls it away, strike 1. The Alligators scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 6th. With 5 hits off of Sandersis. Gabe has walked 4 and struck out 4. Giving up 6 runs, 5 of them are earned, however. This pitch is outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. He's up over 100 pitches now. Here comes the 1-1 to Dominic Wolf. Popped up foul, out of play, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The game began with the Disciples taking a quick 1-0 lead on an RBI double by Peterson. Solingen scored an unearned run on an error in the 5th to tie the game, and then the Disciples took the lead 3-1 after that. This one is outside and high, 2-2. The Disciples took the lead in the 5th. RBIs from Peterson and Stefan. But then Solingen with a 5 spot in the bottom of the 6th. There's a fly ball hit off the fist to left field. Nikolici long run, and he's going to have to let it drop. It's a base hit. Dominic Wolf is on with another leadoff single. That one a weak fly ball. And Sandersius is going to have to deal with Tanner Layton again.
Third baseman.
Layton is over 2 with a walk, but he came around and scored in the 6th inning. This game has been uncomfortable for both pitchers. Metzger has not had his best stuff. Sandersius had been looking good, but his emotions maybe got a little bit of the best of him. Last inning, he left some pitches up, and the Alligators hit him hard. Here's Layton and the pitch. Fastball, strike called on the outside corner, 0-1. No defensive changes for the Disciples. Runner off first base and the 1-strike pitch. Breaking ball hit in the air to center field. Bossel coming on. Makes the catch and falls to his knees. He held on to the ball. And returning to first base is Dominic Wolf. Layton hitting a fly ball off the end of the bat to shallow center field. Remember, there's a lot of room out there, and Bossel has to respect the power of Layton. He was playing pretty deep and had to charge in just to get to that ball, but he caught it about waist high as he dropped to his knees and slid. So with one out, here's Daniel Sanchez. Sanchez got a single. That brought the score to 3-2 in the 6th inning, and then he later came around and scored the go-ahead run. Runner on first base is Dominic Wolf. He's got his hands on his knees. And the pitch to Sanchez. A fly ball to right center field. This is an easy play for Bossel, who comes in, makes the catch. Wolf will go back to second base. 2 down. Sanchez hitting that ball high in the air to straightaway center field. The wind blew it a little bit to right center. So now 2 outs and the runner on first. And here's Niels Hartkopf. Hartkopf has walked, grounded out, and singled. He's driven in a run and scored one. That was in that 5-run rally for the Alligators in the 6th. It is game 4. It's getting late in the season for the Disciples. They have to win this game to force a game 5. And there goes the runner. The pitch is a strike. No throw from Palacios, and Dominic Wolf steals second base. And like I said, that's the only way to steal against Gabe Sandersius. It's to gamble and win, and that time Dominic Wolf gambled and won. He went as soon as Sandersius lifted up the right foot, and Gabe had not made up his mind to throw to first. So 2 outs. Runner on second base. 1 strike the count on Niels Hartkopf. That's a big run out there for the Alligators. Of course, Eberhardt has the fresh bullpen. Should Metzger falter, I think Metzger will probably come out there for the 8th. 1 strike the count on Niels Hartkopf with Wolf on second base. This one in the dirt and blocked by Palacios. Gabe threw 3 wild pitches in that 6th inning, and that was really the killer. Although all those runs most likely would have scored anyway, but did not add to the effect of the inning. 1 ball and 1 strike on Hartkopf. Ground ball slowly hit left side. Peterson gloves it, and he tags out Wolf on his way by. That's a base running mistake by Dominic Wolf. Running into the 3rd out, 5 unassisted. But it doesn't matter. The inning comes to an end. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left on base as Hartkopf reaches on a fielder's choice. There are no errors at the end of 7. It's getting late for the Disciples. It is 6-4, Solingen. Well, we are back at the top of the 8th inning, and Chris Metzger is not going to come out and pitch the 8th inning. It's going to be Andre Hughes, the left-hander. Hughes has been a thorn in the side of the Disciples. He's pitched 13 2/3 innings in this series, and he has allowed 13 hits, 4 runs, only 2 of them earned, 7 strikeouts. He's the only Alligator pitcher to have walked anyone in this series, and one of his 3 walks was intentional. He is going to go to work against the 6, 7, 8 part of the order, Ty Erickson, Klaus Nicolici, and Lucas Steinlein. The Solingen Alligators are 6 outs away from a ticket to Regensburg. Of course, the Alligators and Legionnaire have faced each other before. They faced each other the last few years. And if they can send the Haar Disciples down without any problem, that's where they'll be going next weekend. Here's Erickson. First pitch, strike 1 from Andre Hughes. Metzger, for his time out there on the mound, he did not have his best stuff. 7 innings, 11 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned. He did strike out 7. And here's the pitch from Hughes to Erickson. Low, that went in the dirt, 1 ball, 1 strike. Erickson has singled in 3 trips, 1 for 3. Also flied out and struck out. We're in the 8th inning, the Disciples with 6 outs left with which to work. And that one is high. Ball 2, 2-1, a close pitch. Up and away. Hughes, who has mystified the Disciples in games 1 and 3. Also a little bit in relief in game 2. Has a 2-1 count on Erickson. And a strike. Tails back over the inside corner at the knees, and the count even, 2-2. And that's how Hughes does it. He just hits the corners. He keeps the ball away from the center of the plate. If he gets into the center of the plate, he'll get hit hard, but he hits the spots. 2-2 to Erickson. Swing, and a weak swing, but Erickson gets a piece of an off-speed pitch and fouls it away. That's the thing. His delivery looks exactly the same no matter what the pitch is, and that's what makes him so tough. Two balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. We're in the 8th inning, 6-4 Solingen. The 5 spot they put up in the bottom of the 6th. Trying to make that hold up. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3 on a changeup. Down goes Erickson, 1 down. And the Alligators are 5 outs away. Here comes Klaus Nicolici. Nicolici 0 for 2. He's sacrificed. Struck out and popped out.
99, Klaus Nicolici.
Hughes, who works exclusively from the stretch. And he throws a breaking ball. Strike at the top of the zone, 0-1. 0-1. Another breaking ball, same place, 0-2. That one maybe a little bit lower than the first one. And the count, no balls and 2 strikes to Nicolici. And this one, a fastball wasted high and outside, 1-2. And that one way outside. That looked like the changeup. And Hughes lost his grip on it. The count now even, 2-2. The Disciples would like to get a base runner. Even if it's this inning, that would allow them to start the 9th inning with the top of their order. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. 8th inning, 6-4 Solingen. The pitch to Nicolici. Swing and a miss. He chased a high fastball. And there are 2 outs. That is overall the 9th strikeout. 7 for Metzger, 2 for Hughes, and now Lucas Steinlein, the hitter. Steinlein is 0 for 3. Struck out, popped out, and flied out. And that one is inside, ball 1. Looked like a breaking ball from Hughes. Steinlein, who's from Firth, swings and fouls away a strike. Steinlein, who's right-handed, outfielder and also a pitcher, bats right-handed. He actually is a natural left-hander. When he started playing baseball at about the age of 12, he told me, in Firth, he joined a team. They didn't have any left-handed gloves. So he started throwing right-handed. And now he's a pitcher. Here's the 1-1. The ground ball slowly hit to the hole. Sanchez has it kick off his knee and into left field. And Steinlein will get himself a base hit. The ball skips past the left fielder, and Steinlein's going to take off and make it to second base. So Stritzek fell down out there. Not sure how that ball trickled past him, but that's going to be a single and an error on the left fielder, I'm pretty sure, putting Steinlein at second base. That is base hit number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 for the Disciples. They have 12 hits in this game. Alligators have made 1 error. The Disciples have made 1 error. Well, actually, now the Alligators have made 2. And at the very least, they now will clear the number 9 spot for the 9th inning. Even if Basel ends the inning, they will start the 9th inning with the top of the order. Basel, however, is 1 for 3 with a single. He's also reached on an error, and he takes a pitch ball high. And now time is called. Steinlein tying his shoe out on second base. And Hughes wants a new ball. We're in the 8th inning. Boy, it's like a tale of 2 ballparks. When the Disciples are batting, this place is like a mausoleum. When Solingen is at the plate, you can't even hear yourself think. But the same people are still here. It's a packed house. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Cedric Basel, the number 9 hitter. And he grounds one just foul. And that was a good rip by Cedric, turning on a pitch on the inner corner of the plate. And he ripped it down the line past Wolf, but it was foul by about 2 feet, clearly foul. Steinlein would have easily scored on that. One ball and 1 strike. Hughes looking in for the sign from Julian Steinberg. Steinlein off second. The pitch. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. Good block by Steinberg. That was an off-speed pitch that Basel went chasing. A little bit over-aggressive for Cedric, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runner on second base is Lucas Steinlein. Here it comes. Ground ball slowly hit third baseman. Wolf slides to glove it, throws to first, and it is not in time. The base hit will continue the inning, and Wolf is screaming at the first base umpire. Everybody's safe, a very close play. Wolf had to range to his left and spin. He threw to first base. Basel beat it out, and the Disciples have runners on first and third, and now they have the tying runs on for Richard Klein. This game is not over yet. Very close play. But the first base umpire, Tarek LeBlanc, right there to make the call, and his call is the one that counts. We've seen emotion shown from players on both sides. And in a game like that, that's to be expected. So now Richie Klein, he's 0 for 4, struck out 3 times. But that was all against Metzger. He's got a chance against Andre Hughes now. Steinlein, the runner, at third. Basel at first, and the pitch. A strike at the letters on the outside corner, Richard Klein. Jose Palacios is on deck. The tying runs are on. 0-1 on Klein. Breaking ball tapped slowly up the third base line. Tough play. Hughes fields it, throws to first. Not in time. That one is in time, and Klein is out. That one looked like he just barely got him by a step. Good play by Dominic Wolf at third, who I think I again called Hughes. I have to apologize. I don't know why I keep calling him Hughes. He throws out Richard Klein on first base. A very close play, and the inning comes to a close. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left on base, no errors. At the end of 7.5, it is 6-4 Solingen.
Ja, kommen wir zu unserer Versteigerung. Wir haben immer noch das Höchstgebot auf dem Spielball von 20 € und auf den Schläger mit den 3 Home Runs signiert von Florian Götze. Dort stehen wir bei 50 €. Der Ball 20 €, der Schläger 50 €. Und auch bald noch Zeit, hier einen besonderen Gast im Baseballpark Weißberg zu begrüßen. Hat früher auch die Alligators mit seinen Würfen zur Verzweiflung gebracht und inzwischen Seit diesem Jahr neuer Sportdirektor des DBV. Herzlich willkommen hier im Bordpark Walsberg, Dirk Fries.
Well, here we go. Bottom of the 8th inning, Solingen with a 6-4 lead. The Disciples scored a run last inning to cut the lead to within 2. And it's going to be 6, 7, and 8. Sasha Bruckmeyer, Dustin Hughes, and Marcus Stritzek against Gabe Sandersius. Sandersius, who has thrown 110 pitches, told me that he could go 150 if needed. And it looks like he's going to try to do just that. Here's Bruckmeyer, who is 0 for 3. And the music has not been cut. Home plate umpire is turning to the Alligators press box, asking for the music to be shut off. He receives his switch. The first pitch. Strike call over the outside corner, 0-1 to Bruckmeyer. Bruckmeyer flat out reached on an error and popped out to short, so he's 0 for 3. Made a nice diving catch in the outfield. Now he lines one base hit towards the left center field gap, but Nicolici is over there to cut it off. And Sasha Bruckmeyer has himself a base hit, leading off the 8th inning. That is hit number 8 for the Alligators off of Sandersius. Sandersius has walked 4, he struck out 4, given up 6 runs, 5 of which are earned. Gabe, who is probably pitching on fumes right now, is still going to try and finish this game the best he can. Here's Dustin Hughes, 0 for 3. Struck out and flied to center twice. Bruckmeyer on first, a very short lead. And a throw to first, and that was the lollipop move. We are in the bottom of the 8th inning. Solingen with a 6-4 lead. And the pitch to Hughes. Swung on, hit in the air to center field. Shallow, Bossel coming on. Makes the catch. No, he dropped the ball. Now he's going to have to throw to second base. It won't be in time. And that one drops in, and that's going to be a base hit. So that's a ball that should have been caught. Bossel came on and went into a slide. And the ball hit his glove about chest high and came out. So 2 on and nobody out. Here's Marcus Stritzek, and this is Stritzek's first at bat. He came on and pitch ran for Sasha Steffens and scored a run. In the series, he has had 5 at bats. He is 1 for 5. So nobody out. Runners on first and second. Bruckmeyer at second base. Dustin Hughes at first. A long meeting on the mound between Peterson, Stefan, and Sandersius. The bullpen is going. Kevin Treasel is throwing in the bullpen for the Disciples. And now Mitch Stefan talking with home plate umpire. Not sure what this could be about. I'm guessing it's just confirming that that's a mound visit from the coach. This is the Disciples do not have a coach that sits in the dugout. So when Mitch Stefan and Josh go to talk with Gabe, that counts as a visit to the mound. So nobody out. Runners on first and second. Bruckmeyer and Hughes, the base runners. Marcus Stritzek in there for his first plate appearance against Gabe Sandersius. We're in the 8th inning, 6-4 Solingen. The Disciples hoping for a miracle. And the pitch to Stritzek. He shows bunt, pulls it back. The breaking ball strike called on the outside corner. And the count is 0-1. Nothing in 1 on Stritzek. Runners leading first and second. Instead, the whirl and the look at second. Nothing going on. Inning began with a single to Bruckmeyer. He raked one into left field. Hughes hit a fly ball to shallow center field that Bossel couldn't handle. Here's the pitch. Showing bunt. He gets it down to the right side, and it gets past Stefan, and everybody's going to be safe. And now watch Bruckmeyer on third. That's miscommunication. And now throw behind the runner at third. Sandersius checking on Bruckmeyer. And the bases are loaded. And that's miscommunication between Stefan and Sandersius. So now everything seems to be falling apart for the Disciples. The Alligators have the bases loaded. Not sure if that's going to be scored a base hit or a sack and an error, but I'm going to just write down a single on my scorecard. So now the base is loaded, nobody out. And here is Julian Steinberg. Steinberg, who relieved Selsemeyer. Steinberg, who has sat out most of the year with injuries, has not had a plate appearance in this series. On the year, he only played in 2 games. He had 3 at-bats. He's 1 for 3. Here is the bases loaded. Brookmeyer, Hughes, and Stritzek, the base runners. And the pitch to Steinberg in the dirt. Good block by Palacios. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, things are looking dire right now for the Disciples. The Alligators are lurking underneath the surface of the water, going for the kill. They're leading 6-4. They're playing with house money. They have the bases loaded. Sandersius, who probably out of gas, but the Disciples kind of have no choice but to leave him out there. There's a line drive, base hit down the line. Brookmeyer is going to score. Hughes is racing around third. He will score. Nicolici throws the ball into Peterson. It's a 2-run double, and Solingen leads 8-4. Little liner off the end of the bat. Steinberg didn't hit it all that hard, but he placed it just past the dive of Josh Peterson. Brookmeyer scores. Hughes scores. Stritzek goes to third. Give Steinberg 2 runs batted in. And that's going to be it for Gabe Sandersius. Well, Sandersius gave it all he had. But he's done in the 6th inning, and it's going to be Kevin Treasel coming on for the Disciples. As Lucas Steinlein, who is in limited action with a finger injury. So Kevin Treasel, who would be the Game 5 starter if there would be one, but right now the Disciples are just trying to keep this thing fairly close to have even an iota of a chance in the 9th inning. So Treasel's going to come on. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. There's still nobody out. The score is 8-4 Solingen. Gabe Sandersius departs. He is responsible for the 2 base runners. He's given up 11 hits, 8 runs, 7 of which are earned. 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. He threw 117 pitches. Gabe was called for 2 balks. He threw 3 wild pitches. And in the early going, he really pitched out of some big jams. Remember, the Disciples took a quick 1-0 lead, which stunned the crowd at some point.
So, der Wechsel auf dem Mount bei den Harvey für Gabe Sandersius. Jetzt auf dem Mount mit der 3, Kevin Treasel.
So Kevin Treasel is going to come on and try to put out the fire. Well, this one is burning out of control as far as the Disciples are concerned. They're trailing by 4 runs in the bottom of the 8th, and the Alligators have runners on 2nd and 3rd with nobody out in this do-or-die game. And now Florian Gutze will be the first man Treasel faces with runners on 2nd and 3rd. First pitch, strike called at the knees on the outside corner. Good pitch from Treasel. So Sandersius is still responsible for Stritzek and Steinberg. Stritzek is on 3rd, Steinberg is on 2nd. Here's the 1-strike pitch to Gutze. And a strike, another slider, nothing in 2 at the knees. 2 tough pitches from Treasel. Gutze is 1 for 4, he singled. Treasel in this series in 12 1/3 innings pitched has a 4.37 ERA. Swing and a miss and a good block by Palacios, strike 3. Goetze is gone on 3 pitches. There's one down, and the runners have to stay put at second and third. And now Dominic Wolf. Well, Wolf is 2 for 4 today. Made a nice play to end the top of the 8th inning to cut down Richard Klein on a slow ground ball. Here's the pitch to him. And a strike. Treasel has thrown 4 straight strikes. Tanner Layton is on deck. 1 strike the count to Dominic Wolf. And now strike 2. Treasel has thrown 5 straight BBs right at the edges of the zone. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Here comes. In the dirt, another good block by Palacios, although he couldn't find it immediately. But he did keep the ball in front of him to count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Stritzek is on third. Steinberg is on second. The inning began single, 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 double, 2 runs. And then a strikeout to Goetze, 1 and 2 to Dominic Wolf. Treasel working from the windup. The infielders are still in. It is 8-4 Solingen. Fly ball, left field, Nicolici going back. Stritzek is tagging, Nicolici with the catch, and he's going to make the throw to third base, and Stritzek will score. Sac fly for Dominic Wolf, and it is 9-4. As Stritzek comes home, that run is charged to Sandersius. There are 2 outs, and now the infield can back up with Steinberg at second base. Tanner Layton, the hitter.
Latop zweiten Base, 2 aus und am Schlag unsere Nummer 1, Tanner Layton.
So here's Layton with 2 outs and Julian Steinberg on second base. Pitch to him, breaking ball, and that one is outside, ball 1. That's the first pitch outside of the strike zone that Treasel has thrown. Alligators trying to put the finishing touches on a 4-game victory over the Disciples. The 1-ball pitch popped up, foul and out of play over my head off to the left. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Layton, who's got his father in attendance. In fact, I think both of his parents are here, visiting from Meridian, Idaho. Layton, who is in his 3rd year with the Solingen Alligators. 1 ball and 1 strike to count from Kevin Treasel to Tanner Layton. 2 outs. Steinberg off second base. Fly ball to short left field. Ziegler going out. He's not going to get it. It's a base hit. Steinberg will be held at third as his injury prevents him from running any faster than that. So a base hit for Layton puts runners on first and third. And that will bring up Daniel Sanchez.
2 down, Single von unserem second baseman.
And Sanchez, who's got a single and an RBI. He's also scored 2 runs. He's 1 for 3.
Und wir warten auf den ersten Run von Sharky in dieser Saison.
Steinberg on third, Layton on first. It is 9-4. Solingen leading the Haar Disciples. And the curtain appears to be lowering on the Disciples season. Breaking ball, and it's high, ball 1. This game looked as though the Disciples were going to have the upper hand, and then in the 6th inning, the Alligators were able to string together 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits off of Sandersius, plus a walk and 3 wild pitches. There's a fly ball to deep right center field. Bossel going way back in front of the wall. He makes the catch and falls down, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. That ball was hit a long way towards the triangle in right center field, and Bossel ran it down. So the inning is over, but the Alligators get 2 more runs. They get 3 more runs, 3 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. There were 2 left on base, no errors. At the end of 8 full, do or die for the Disciples. It is 9-4 Solingen.
Und der Zwischenstand von unserer Versteigerung hat sich auch geändert. Für den Originalschläger mit dem Torangriff für 3 Homeruns hier im Spiel gegen Paderborn geschlagen hat, ein Broken Bat, steht das Gebot weiterhin auf 50 € und für den Spielball wurde erhöht auf die Summe von 30 €. Und die Versteigerung endet mit dem letzten Aus am heutigen Tag. Müsst euch also beeilen, wenn ihr hier noch für den Schläger oder den Spielball mitsteigern wollt.
Well, here we go. This is the top of the 9th inning. The Haar Disciples trail by 5. Their chances are slim of coming back and forcing a game 5. However, it is not impossible. But for the Disciples fans, they have to look to the 2-3-4 part of the order against Andre Hughes, Jose Palacios, Chris Ziegler, and Josh Peterson. Solingen Alligators trying to punch their ticket to Regensburg next weekend. The pitch to Palacios. That is a strike. Jose has 2 hits and 4 at-bats. Breaking ball, missed for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, the Alligators have not issued a single walk in the entire game, and that really, if there's any big difference between these two teams, that's been the difference. There's a fastball missed outside, 2-1. I mentioned it at the top of the broadcast that neither team has played flawless baseball. There have been errors in this game. There have been errors in every single game. And neither team is ripping the cover off the ball either. Except for today. Today's game, we have seen a lot of hits. There's a strike, 2-2. The Disciples have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 hits in this game. Only 4 runs. They have not been able to cash in. The 2-2. There's a line drive over a second. That's going to be another base hit, the 14th one. And Palacios starts things off with a base hit. We've had base runners galore. There has only been one 1-2-3 inning for Alligators pitching, and there's only been one 1-2-3 inning for, well, there were 2 for Disciples pitching. The Alligators have 12 hits, but they've been able to make the most of their hits. That's kind of been the story of the series. Alligators have had fewer hits than the Disciples, but they've scored more runs. They've also been given more walks. Ziegler takes a breaking ball, ball 1. And this game was a 3-1 lead for the Disciples in the 6th inning. And the Alligators scored 5, and they have not looked back since. There's a strike called to Ziegler, 1 ball and 1 strike. They tacked on 3 more in the bottom of the 8th. And that lead is pretty daunting for Disciples and their fans. However, there's nobody out. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Strike called at the knees on the outside corner, 1-2 borderline. That one just barely nipping the strike zone if. That's where Hughes lives. He lives on those edges of the strike zone. There's the 1-2 pitch to Ziegler. Broken back ground ball up the middle to Tanner Layton. It takes a bad hop, but he stays with it. Flips to second 1. The throw to first is not in time. They do get the out at second base, however. That ball kicked and went a different direction from what Tanner Layton was expecting. However, Ziegler will reach on the 4-6 fielder's choice. There's 1 out, and now Josh Peterson, the hitter.
Ein Aus und er fragt die 19, Josh Peterson.
4-14-2 for the Disciples. Josh swings and pops it up right side. Brookmeyer drifting over into right center field, waits for it. There's the second out. Well, the Disciples are down to their last out of the 2015 season. It has been a fantastic season, one in which they have had a great record at home. They have thrilled the fans in Haar. They've built up their brand. They have attracted more people to games at home. And it will be disappointing again for the Disciples if they can't come back in this game. But it has been a successful season for the Disciples in terms of building the fan base. They reached third place for the first time ever as Mitch Stefan takes a pitch low for ball one. And for the third straight year, they have run into the Solingen Alligators. Here's the 1-0. There's a line shot. That's a fair ball, a base hit down the right field line. Ziegler's going to go to third base. Mitch is going to stop at first. And the Disciples are alive, and it will bring up Ty Erickson. Mitch hit that ball very hard. That is the 15th hit for the Disciples. 4-15-2 against 9-12-2. So this game, neither pitcher really had their best stuff. Sandurcius looked good for the first 5, and then he ran out of gas in the 6th. Metzger didn't have his dominant stuff. He gave up a lot of hits. In fact, Metzger gave up 11 hits, and now here's Ty Erickson with 2 outs. Runners on first and third. We're in the 9th inning. It is 9-4. Those runs that Solingen scored last inning look huge. There's the pitch to Ty in the dirt, ball 1. Well, stranger things have happened, but you know that if the Disciples should even get a sniff at bringing the tying run to the plate, you're going to see Inorbel Marquez in the ballgame. 1 ball and no strikes to Ty Erickson. Runners on first and third. Little tapper, and it's a foul ball off of Erickson's foot, called right away by Bernhard Laufen. 1 ball and 1 strike. The semifinals begin next weekend in Regensburg and in Heidenheim. Heidenheim awaiting the winner of the Bonn-Mainz game. Regensburg waiting to see what happens here. Solingen defeated Regensburg last year in the semifinals in 4 games. However, the previous year they lost the finals in 5 games. Regensburg, who was in first place, gets home field advantage. So whether it's Haar or Solingen, the series begins in Regensburg next week. 1-1 on Erickson with runners on first and third. And he has a slow grounder foul, and the count is 1-2. And now Hughes and the Alligators are 1 strike away from a trip to Regensburg next weekend. So many things that could be said about the Disciples season. They had a fantastic year. The 1-2 pitch, foul away. It's not quite over, but the curtain is closing. But they have an excellent team in place for next year, with the emergence of Kevin Treisel as really a star starting pitcher in the Bundesliga. His confidence will be even higher next year, I assume. Here's the pitch. There's a fly ball, right center field. Brookmeyer way back. He's got a play, makes the catch, and the game is over. The Solingen Alligators have won by a score of 9-4, and they win this series 3-1. Well, neither Metzger nor Sandurcius had their best day, but in the end of the day, it came down to depth. The Alligators, knowing that they have Hughes and Marquez in that bullpen, the Disciples were somewhat hindered by the finger injury to Lucas Steinlein, who was not really going to be at 100% if they put him in, so they left Sandurcius out there as long as they could have. And Gabe just ran out of gas after throwing about 110 pitches. He turned in an excellent outing for 5+ innings, but then the Alligators, stringing together a bunch of hits for a 5-run rally, took the lead in the 6th inning, and they never looked back. Final score, the Solingen Alligators, 9 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors. And the Haar Disciples, 4 runs on 15 hits and 2 errors. And once again, the story of the series really was the pitching for the Solingen Alligators, and the simple fact that they simply do not walk anyone. Chris Metzger did not walk a batter. Andre Hughes did not walk anyone today. He walked 3 in the series, and he was the only Alligator pitcher to even issue any walks, and one of those 3 was intentional. So if there's any distinction that the Alligators made, it's because of the strike throwing of their pitchers. And the teams are high-fiving each other on the field. It's been a great atmosphere here in Solingen, the ballpark in Weiersburg. I would like to thank Guido Goetze and Norman Eberhardt. I'd like to thank Simon Franke, Fabian Müller at Sport Deutschland TV. I would also like to thank the Haar disciples for allowing me to drag all my stuff to the ballpark. And I'd like to thank you for watching the game. I hope you enjoyed today's broadcast. My name is Tim Collins. The highlights will be up later tonight, much later tonight, as the Solingen Alligators are going to take on the Buchbinder Legionnaire next Saturday in the semifinals of the 2015 Bundesliga. Thanks very much for watching. My name is Tim Collins. We will see you soon sometime.